issues that affect us together as a people.
So the budget was really a good budget. The government is doing a whole lot. They're doing for the people. They open the eyes of the people. This budget is the best budget I heard since after the revolution. I never heard a budget good like that, and it's for the people. A people budget, you call that. I am very pleased with this government.
Speak Out Unfiltered. The opinions and ideologies expressed on this program, Speak Out Unfiltered, it's the views of its rightful owners and not of Vibes FM 101.3. Speak Out Unfiltered.
Every Thursday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Unfiltered. And I mean it.
And it's just about time for us to say good morning again to you right here on Vibes FM. Welcome to the program Speak Out Unfiltered for today, Thursday. We're looking at the 25th day of July, 2024. Good morning to the trial and state of Petit Martinique, Carriacou, Grenada. Good morning to you. And our neighbors next to St. Vincent and the Grenadines, good morning as well. And those of you on Facebook, we want to say a special good morning to you. Those of you on YouTube as well, good morning. And inside on our streams as well, we want to say good morning to you. Those of you listening to us on TuneIn and whatever platform that you are on, because we are on quite a number of platforms, good morning to you. Thank you so much for tuning in, as always. As you very well know, the program Speak Out Unfiltered every Thursday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And as usual, we give you a chance to hear your views and concerns. And our telephone numbers to do so are 443-0101. 443, that should not be 443. I'm so sorry. So used to the 443 because our landlines are not yet been restored. So we don't have any service on our landlines. So if you want to interact with us, you have to call us on our cell lines, and the cell regular or WhatsApp. You can use a WhatsApp as well too. It's the same numbers, okay? 403-0101. 403-0101. And you also call 534-3097. 534-3097. You want to interact with us, those numbers again, 403-0101. The area code is 473, of course, okay? 403-0101. and 534-3097. Those are the numbers you're going to interact with us, whatever is happening in your community, whatever comments you might want to make, participate in the program. We are always welcome to do so. But first of all, before we move on, let me say good morning to you, Koi. Good morning. Koi, what's up? Tell me. Good morning.
Good morning to you, Kim. Good morning to the listeners wherever you are this time. Kim asked me what's up. Sometimes jokingly one would say, when somebody asks you what's up, you say the sky. Yeah, what is more than the sky for me? It's more than the sky. I think when you look forward and you look ahead of you, you have to be in gratitude because for what has happened a few weeks ago. In fact, this is the second program since after Ivan. Oh my goodness, not Ivan. You see, everybody's. I guess Ivan's stuck, in our minds. But right now it is Hurricane Beryl.
Yes.
Yes. So since after Hurricane Beryl, so many things have happened, and Kim. In my opening comments, I want to make this comment here in the sense that, you remember the Prime Minister Dickon Mitchell did say that there will be a transformation. Yes, there will be a what he was again in terms of the change that he expects in Grenada.
It's a transformational agenda,
All right. But have we ever stopped to consider what and how the transformation is coming about? And I want to submit here, and that's open for discussion, that this hurricane we had there clears the way for transformation. Everything has to change, some things, the structures we building have to be different. The attitude that we having have to be different. So I'm suggesting that listen, this transformation thing started, and one would have thought, how will we get that? How will we get there? What will cause us to get there? And fortunately or unfortunately, this is the part.
Yeah.
This is the part. We had to get closer, Kim.
About it.
No, if about it, we had to change our attitude in several things. No, if about it. So, and this will take a long time, eh? The restoration and so on will take a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
I want to welcome everybody to the transformation process. We're going forward together as a people with one journey, with one future, and as one people, and we'll be transformed together.
Well, I remember, we were doing on our intro, we speak about the transformation and we say the transformation is real.
It's real. It is real.
It is real.
No longer, boy, I wonder. No, it is real. It is here with us on our doorstep. And I don't think we have a choice. We can't run away from it.
But we didn't really
see it in that, yeah.
We didn't see it in this light, eh? We didn't, I'm glad that you bring up the point that we didn't really see it in this light, the transformation we spoke about, was more the operations of government, and how they would be administrating services and stuff like that, in the future, to serve the people.
Yeah.
But we ourselves are caught up now in that transformation of our lives as well. Too. Everything has been deranged, and we have to sort of put it back together and try to move forward in a different way.
Yeah.
Because as you mentioned in the beginning, when it comes to rebuilding has to be looked at different now.
Precisely.
There's no if about it. You are going to put up a structure. You're going to have to wait and make sure that you follow some different guidelines.
And it's approved.
Yes.
It's approved. The authority is there to approve and to disapprove. The point is that you'll do it not just anyhow, and no quick fix here. You have to do it according to standards.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, according to regulations, according to rules. And Kim, as on that, somebody asked the question: would the building, the authority that is in charge of giving permission for
in planning,
yes, planning,
would
they not waive some of the conditions because would they not give people an opportunity to at least get something over their heads, or would they still insist that, hey, listen, you must go this way? circumstances
Well, you're gonna
are what it
find
is.
some situations where people are gonna use get some temporary shelters, because I mean it's a must, it's a way of life, eh? But when we talking about we're using the word temporary, not a permanent.
Uh,
So temporary is a little bit different to permanent shelters.
okay.
Now, if you're going to construct a permanent shelter, then you would have to, abide by some of the rules, guidelines, to do it different, because you don't want this to happen the same way it happened again. Although it could. You never really know. A Category 5 hurricane or 4 plus whatever we had there, it's been really really devastating. So if that were to reappear, we hope not.
Even a category
A
3
3, yeah, could
would
be,
would
yeah.
would serious
But
problems
but
for us.
but the building and everything like that needs to be different now, though. I think we need to take some better steps in trying. I'm using the word trying, cautiously, in trying to see if we could make it a little bit more stronger, maybe durable, maybe able to withstand high winds of a certain nature, and so this way we could avoid, if possible, all these damages that we occurred. Yeah, it's really, I mean, whenever I think about it, it just brings chills to my
Yeah, I
bones.
mean, somebody might say, listen, no matter how much reinforcement you put in the walls and the steel and so on in the wall to keep the building up and do what is necessary, regardless of whatever you'd have done, a category 5 hurricane could still be a challenge. Okay, but the chances are, if we take precaution, all the damages that we suffer, that we are suffering now, or this could have been minimized. I'm not saying it will stop.
No,
It
but
will be
they minimize it.
minimized,
Yeah.
and this will take a longer process, a longer time for us to rebuild back.
Mhm.
To
But
clean up.
even notice, I don't know if you've been going around and taking as much notice as I did, But even notice some of the buildings that were not damaged, And if you were to do some observation closely, you realize that they were within that guideline
Yeah.
of the new ways of building.
Mhm.
So, there's some damages, of course, but not, to the extent where the buildings are demolished altogether.
Mhm.
It's repairable, and things like that. But I think, our attitude now has to be changed. We have to look at things differently in moving forward, because if you do the same thing over and over, you get the same result. So you are trying to avoid and get a different result. And this is why we have to take necessary precautions. And I know that this is going to be on the top agenda as we are doing our into our transformation now. Our attitudes and everything like that would have to be different.
Yeah.
And we're going to have to make sure that we stay, intact, and make sure that we abide by rules and regulations. It's so important for us to be doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
Yes,
somebody
go ahead.
somebody was just trying to make a point here that are we all also on local people in Caracol,
Oh yeah, on radio,
and
yes.
Grenada, and we can
Yeah,
hear
yeah,
us.
yeah, yeah. We are, not 100%, but we are on radio, online as well too, inside of Grenada,
Mhm.
and in Caracu too. We have a 101.3 frequency up as well too,
Okay.
and it's
Okay.
serving most of Caracu.
Mhm.
We intend to improve that over the next couple of weeks, but as of now, it's a gradual progression
Mhm.
that's going on right now.
Mhm.
We are just trying to see if we could get back on our feet again,
Yeah.
and it takes a little while to get back in full blast. But right now, our listeners on 101.3 FM could hear us inside of Caracu as well.
Yes.
And what about our 106.3 inside of Grenada is up and running. We also have our listeners online, and we also have our Facebook running. We have our YouTube running. So there's many ways of trying to see if they could stay in touch with us. Yeah.
Okay. That's good.
Uh-huh.
That's good. That's good. So welcome to the people of Caracol, Matnik. It will be nice to hear your story.
Mhm.
And not just your story as to saying what what went wrong, but your story in the sense of how are we going forward together. This has been something that all of us together faced, and I think we should focus and concentrate on how can we rebuild our lives, not only the material things, not only the roofs, but also the things like our own selves, our own lives have been shattered in so many ways. Things that we were planning and things that we are putting in place to go forward. For example, Kim, children in Carriacou are already getting placed in schools in Grenada. I mean, they can't wait until everything is fixed, but the education
Yeah.
has to go on.
Yeah.
So students are registering in GBSS, in convent, in different places. They are registering to to continue their education. Again, this is another change. Probably the parents and even the child may not have been prepared for or looking forward to. But now they have to end the, well, if you're in Form 4 or Form 5, you know how to get into a different, another environment. New students, new school, new everything. So you have to adjust. You're not running to Hillsborough Secondary School, not going to Bishop's College. You go into a strange land, as it were. Yeah, and but your education has to continue. So all these things are changes that we have to give support to our children
But
and parents.
speaking about that, though, Coy, it just dawned on me. I never really checked out in detail as to exactly the extent of the damage that was done to the Hillsborough government school. I mean, Hillsborough Secondary School and the Bishop's College. I saw some structural damage. But what I do know is that the schools at this time have been used for shelters,
Most
right?
of them, yes.
They're still been used for shelters. So it poses a problem now, whereby if we have to get those schools back in operation, we have to get rid of it as a shelter and back into its normal, phase of operation, which is school. So now we have to find place in this instant where we're going to have to find some accommodation for those of us, who are looking for shelters or are in the shelters.
Well, I mean, of course, again, that's one of the things that has to be given some consideration too. Should we use our schools alone for thank you.
Thank you.
Should we use our schools as shelters? No. What is the problem with other buildings? The reason why it is used, the schools, is because they were examined, assessed, and based on the standard, they could fit. But there are other buildings that are wrong. If they don't meet the standard, the qualification, build them up too. But don't just rely on schools only. Again, I hope this is one of the lessons, because you see, our children now have to go in Grenada and finish their education. Some, most, and it hinders them. It hinders them. Some children may not, and parents may not have the ability to cope. But the education is important. So the point about building as shelters should be, looked at. Yes, we can use our schools, but only schools, mostly schools, where the community centers, can they be brought up to standard? That's what it is, community centers. Yeah, even some of the churches. Well, we have seen we have seen what happened to the churches. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the point is, we have to rethink and we look at a lot of how we do those.
Right.
those
Yeah.
things.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
because as you just mentioned there, that's a factor. That's something we have to look into.
Yeah, we can just depend on schools.
No. Yeah.
There are community centers there.
So they would have to do a lot again. A lot of work has to be done, but the space of time
I know.
in doing so now, that is the problem, because we don't have the window is a very, very short, small window.
Yeah.
So, in other words, for us to get things moving as soon as possible, we need to get that going as of yesterday. And that, as you just mentioned, it's in the making right now, where you have some people already looking to relocate, themselves, go to Grenada, if that's what the option is, and try to get that organized as early as possible.
Yeah.
But getting them to Grenada too, could be a problem again, in the sense that, one, housing would be a problem, and depends on the age of the child. They would need supervision, so most likely you might need a parent or a guardian there to take care of them, and to help them, to navigate and do what they have to do in a strange environment,
I see we have Sully on the house, but and he may not be ready to comment yet. But I would say, and probably when he is ready, he can talk. We're going back to the days when children in Carriacou had to go and study in Grenada, and they had to have a hostel there, and they had to have relatives there, and parents there, and cousins there. We're going back to those days. I mean, because the education of our children are so
Well, that
important.
was a challenge, And as you just mentioned, Salio is here. Well, Salio, you join us in conversation, but let me say good morning to you as well. Good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning, my Redeemer. And noting that cold water is in short supply,
Uh-huh.
I brought you each a bottle so that will temper your.
Thank you so
so,
much.
so
I'm going to take a drink on that.
yeah, please do, please do.
Thank you, sir.
So, what were you asking now, Mr. Coy?
Yes, I was saying that with this situation about our children, our students have to know go to Grenada because
Some of them, yeah.
some of them, not all of them, but because the schools have been used as shelters. Yeah, we'll get to that part in a little while. But the point is, I was making the analogy when I mentioned to you about you. We go back to the days when we used to go and study. We had to go to school in Grenada and go and stay in hostel and go and stay by parents and cousins and uncles and aunts. But I'm just saying we are going back to that period. And have we really given thought to how we're going to navigate this part of our education?
Well, I wouldn't say we're going back to that, but we were brought to this situation by us, not so great circumstances. And if we have to do that, which we have to do, I guess we have no choice. But I don't know how many, I think junior secondary is affected, and so is Bishop's College.
Bishop's College, slightly though, not massive.
Because I would think that Bishop's College have a lot of real estate there.
Yes, they do, yeah.
So what they may have to do is share and share like help
Well-
the situation.
Well, I think, based on what I've been seeing, the damage is minimal. There are some windows apparently in some of the buildings that were blown out, and those could be replaced. And based on what I'm seeing there, it's the condition of the school is not bad, so they'll be able to use it as a school again. The problem is relocating those who are in the shelter now. That is what they have to do. And as far as I understand, too, the numbers in the shelters are dwindling.
Okay.
It's going down, down, because people's comfort zone is very important. The normal surroundings around you, this sharing here and what you used to. You prefer to be on your own. We've been like that for the longest while.
Unfortunately, it is what it is. So we have to do what we have to do. The going gets tough, so the tough gets going. So we may have to put up a little extra muscle and do the unusual sacrifice because these are unusual times and unusual circumstances.
Right.
And I'm happy that there's a sort of a deterrent, the shelter, but you're not so comfortable with this, so you get up and get.
Right.
So it's a motivator,
It is.
And which is, I'm not saying it's good, but under the circumstances,
Because
we'll find our own.
Speaking about the numbers, I think a couple of days ago, you were speaking to Dwight Logan or the Peter Matnick.
Yes.
And if I'm not mistaken, I think he said that in the beginning there were about 69 persons in the shelter, and they're down to about 10 now.
Telling you.
To 10 now.
Yeah, and it's going down as far as I
I
understand.
call self-help.
Yes.
You can't, and circumstance sometimes will trigger that.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So it is important that we assess this situation. And so Leo, you were speaking in regards to sharing both Hillsborough Secondary and Jobs College. But education is much more than just a physical structure and people going to school. There are students, of course, those students who are going to be traveling, who are going to be going down, and students who would not want to be disturbed from studying for exams, external exams, for example. Yeah. So they'll need an environment. Not when they pass every day, they're seeing a roof on the ground there, they're seeing some trees mash up. That could also influence the mind. So I'm just saying, being in an environment where that doesn't exist could help them in their studies and in passing.
But someone's just making a point here. I'm just looking at it on my WhatsApp here, and they're saying that the reason they believe that some of these people might be relocating to Grenada is not because the school is not able to function. It's because the students don't have proper shelter to
Believe that.
So that's another issue. In other words, now where they are right now is not comfortable for them to be staying there and going to school. So what I understand is that they move into Grenada because of the personal space that they need to be a little bit more comfortable rather than the school setting, because the school setting is pretty much, able to accommodate students to reopen, once the shelters are clean now.
I understand that fully, and I understand that maximum space and maximum comfort is necessary. However, again, these are unusual times, on unusual circumstances. So sometimes we have to take a bit of chafing, and we have to adjust a little bit to cope. Hello. If you overboard and you're drowning, don't expect a dry suit. It's not going to happen because you're used to a dry suit. You expect a dry suit. You're drowning now, so you have to change. You're talking about what we call transformation. Transform and help yourself. When the going gets tough, the tough get going. We sometimes have to, because knowing Carol, boy, and knowing what we were able to survive. I'm not asking for that again, but I know what this human body is capable of. So sometimes we have to flex our muscle. And we are that type of people, resilient. I want to be like them little American kids, Car blowing, they move in the road because they figure they have rights. So when the car bunks, you happen.
Right. They're right.
You have rights. So
Yeah.
come on.
Yep.
They have rights to walk wherever they want to walk.
Yeah.
And what they're moving.
Bunks,
Bunks, yes. So you're in hospital, so yes. So you're wrong. You tell me wrong when you're in hospital. It's just sometimes I have to adjust and do things the right way.
You think the road is your own? You think the road is your own?
Yeah.
Bunks,
Box me now.
Yeah. According to my boy, move me.
No, but it's something that is being talked about now, and something that the authorities are working on in trying to see if they could make it as comfortable as possible moving forward without too much.
Yeah. I'm saying that these conditions, we want it to last for as short as possible.
Right.
And we will do everything we can to in the interim. We're making those adjustments. Expect some discomfort and flex your muscle and prepare for it, because that's what the times give.
Yeah. We sometimes want to feel or return to that comfort zone
So
quickly,
Normalcy?
normalcy as quick as possible.
but life is not always a bed of roses, eh? And
we keep saying that.
But
We keep saying life is not a bed of roses, but the point I'm making that also here is that we aren't doing as though we believe it. We believe everything has to come easy. Just
I guess
That's
those of us who don't believe it will get a chance to prove it.
no.
Yes.
This is the time.
Yes.
So this is real transformation in children.
Kim, I remember one time there were some students going to Stony Brook University. So they call us parents and so on, and to lay the ground rules as to what the things that are expected of the children. This lady was fuming because they said that no televisions in the bedroom.
She was right. She
No
was
television in the bedroom.
right to say
Yes.
what
No,
she
because her kid is just, I said, no problem, keep your kid in your house now. Keep your kid in your house. If the television in the room is more important than the child's development and education, keep your television in your house and stay home. Don't come and disrupt the class.
But as you just make that point, you've just make me think a little bit, because people sometimes, don't realize that adjustments have to be made in different situations.
Times not always rosy.
You have to change. There's no if about it.
Yeah. Adopt a suit. And this
Used
body
to
is
taking
very-
a shower all the time, hot water running here, this and electricity, whatever the case might be. No,
The bucket.
in the bucket.
Get your drawing pan and get busy.
And you're still thankful for what you are getting.
You will get a wash.
Yes, otherwise than that.
Go back to basics.
But I accustomed Dunlop. Now you want me to spread?
No.
spread
You
on the ground?
You go home and gas finish. You're taking 3 stones and a piece of wood and cooking food.
Yeah.
Well, that's shame on you. You want you could stay hungry because your gas is up to you. But I know I cooking.
I'm eating.
And eat too and belch. You just eat. What's the matter with you? You do what it takes, man.
So I think it's a timely call.
Mm-hmm.
We have to get up and put our shoulder to the wheel, our hands to our shoulder to our head, everything to the wheel, because it's not normal times. Why do we want to be or expect to be comfortable in a situation as this? Rain falling, some water dripping on you, and you want water to wet you. Well, okay.
And it goes back again to some of the comments some I've been hearing and people making in, like, just 3 weeks gone, into this, and they start fuming and fussing and say, well, what the house, what the government doing, in other words,
and it's always what they do, not what we are doing.
What they're doing, in other words, like, give me the house now. I mean, you listen to some of these things, I want to believe maybe it's trauma that's causing this kind of comment.
Boy, there's some trauma in it,
Yeah.
No doubt there's some trauma in it, but by and large,
So we did.
is a seriously worthless attitude that we have adopted of late.
Yeah.
Well, not of late, for the past, this
20
thing
years.
has been fuming, festering for a very long time, It's just, the post just opened. Because we've been creating Kimbo Kings.
For long.
Children,
Yeah.
when you and I were growing up at 6 o'clock in the garden looking for pig feeding,
Long time.
now 8 o'clock they turn you to wet them. How you mean? So what you teaching your child? The teaching child is nice and peachy keen, and the parents get up, almost want to bring them the breakfast in bed, and when you make a fungu, you vex. You must be joking. The mother, I know you better do what you have to do and learn something for yourself.
But Koi in the beginning mentioned, Solio, that we speak about transformation.
Yeah.
And this is transformation.
All that is in it.
This is part of transformation.
Yes.
We have to learn to adapt. We have to learn to make changes. We have to learn to know the norm is not the best all the time.
No.
We have to move forward if the need be.
We're fooling ourselves if we think life is always a better road and things are always smooth. There are some days when it's going to get rough. That's what we mean by saving for the rainy day.
Yes.
Or preparing for the rainy day when things are not so good.
In peacetime, you prepare for wartime.
Amen.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Can't wait until the war starts.
No.
Listen, I am the gun. I am that. No, we can't do that. In this time, prepare for war.
We're on
The wartime.
we're on the wrong track. We're on the wrong track. And I was telling a young lady last time, your son is 15 years old. What time he gets up in the morning? He doesn't want to get up now. And when time he doesn't want to get up to go to school, or want to get up to go to school, and now he doesn't want to get up to go to work. You surprised?
You grew him?
That's how you grow him.
That's
So he doesn't know. So don't expect anything from this child. No, he's still looking. He's 40 years and innocent. So those don't win at all. Teach your children the right way. And that's what my mother taught me. And you do as you're told until such time as you could do for yourself. That's right.
okay. Now, let me remind our listeners, okay, we got the lines open again. There's cell lines, okay? And it's 403-0101. 403-0101 and 534-3097. 534-3097. Landlines are not operating yet. And it's going to be a while before we see landlines coming back again because there is so much to be done. I mean, the polls, like Grendeck is erecting right now, the other companies, utility companies, usually piggyback on those poles as well. So unless we have electricity right through, then we're not going to be seeing phone lines, landlines, and things like that, and even television. Unless you have wireless, get some internet, then you'll be able to do that. But that's where we are. The new norm. I call it the new norm. And we just have to make changes and adjust ourselves and be comfortable, make yourself comfortable, because this thing is not finishing tomorrow,
So you mean Starlink is a new cell phone?
Well,
Yes,
that's
yes.
That's the new step.
New kid on the block.
Yes, as a matter of fact, that's what we are using right now. Well, I never, gentlemen, listen, I never heard the word
Starlink before.
Well,
You've
never heard the word Starlink before.
Check 2 of us.
Okay,
so far.
Okay. Well, I guess it's 3-2.
No. I think I heard that was associated with Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Okay. That's where I first heard it, but I didn't pay attention, to it. And when the day of the hurricane, I was at Nightmares Center, and after the storm, about half an hour after the storm, some guys show up.
The storm chasers.
some theater listener, this is what we are using. Give us,
Mhm.
And I said, really and truly, I mean, imagine everything just gone down flat, thanks to
Starling.
Starlink.
Well, that's it.
That's it.
The first time I heard it, was when our prime minister spoke to me,
Yeah.
and he was asking me how is the damage and what we need to get back on air,
Uh-huh.
I said, well, some of the things we're going to need electricity, some power, We're going to need some internet, and we're going to need, possible transmitters, and antennas, whatever.
Mm.
And he said to me, okay, well, we could organize a Starlink. When he said that Starlink to me, he said, yeah, we could assist you with that, and we're going to get,
Mhm.
what the other stuff that you need. And I said, Starlink. So I started asking. I didn't want to,
Wonderful.
I didn't want to sound like I didn't know. And when I found out, they say yes. They said that's the internet you could use, and it's very popular. Not down here, but now you find that it is.
Yeah, a lot of guys are ocean going,
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what they're using.
So I call my expert in New York and say, educate me, please, and try to send me the best system we could possibly do.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm expecting mine quite soon.
Okay.
I can't wait again.
Okay.
We are preparing ourselves on us here to go and live up there. So we have to have a communication system.
You remember when Beeper was the true revolution?
Yes.
Beeper will ring you, think, well, you're a spaceman.
You didn't think?
You didn't think Beeper we? Yeah. Now you're taking cell phone and talk to people and look at them.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Yeah.
Some
Yeah.
So what?
is a long way from Miss Photo. Do you remember Miss Photo? Miss Photo was the first character exchange.
Yes.
Well, you know nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, upstairs.
Yes.
No, that they had one transmitter upstairs the post office. What they want was the Miss Photo house.
Oh yes, in the house. Yes.
When you go there, Mount Porter and Jack, Mrs. Photo, take note and pull him to make a phone call.
Imagine that.
I know.
I had to ring it.
Oh, no.
And put that on.
But you want to know something? The conversation you were having with the person on
Yes.
the other end,
Yeah,
everybody around,
Everybody must say because you have to
everybody
show.
on the block hearing you.
You had to talk about.
Scream.
Because there's just about one step above punk up and tread, So that was the next
So
step.
where are we now? We just started.
It was-
Up in the sky?
Yeah.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, if you look on top of my roof right now, I got dishes up there.
Not to eat.
Yeah,
Yes,
we've been beaming satellites.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was straight up there. Sometimes you move it to a position where you know the satellite, is located,
Yeah.
and you get the best reception.
And it's mighty clear.
Yeah, and amen. Yes, so all these things is the transformation that's taking place, and we have to make adjustments in order for us to move forward.
They have the fixed one and the portable one.
Oh yes, yeah.
So you can walk about with something as even as a cell phone on your side and make a call. It's
Yeah.
good.
Right. Okay. Well, so you get in there now. You get in there.
Yeah, man. Oh, yeah, I had to rev up. When I see what's going on ahead of me, I had to speed up, boy.
Okay. Now, one of the things I've been noticing, the cleanup process now in Carriacou, you realize that is going on, and Carriacou start to look like Carriacou again.
I tell you, down by me, I was pleasantly surprised. I didn't know Stump us.
Oh, okay.
Down by, they did a mighty damn good job.
Well,
the only thing I was hanging the road was a piece of wire and they cleared down, and we mighty fine. But they're trying. They're making a good effort.
And I noticed too, even that the streets have been broom swept.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Mhm.
really, really nice. I didn't go around in a couple of days, and when I went back, I said, "Wait, is this the same area that I traversed
It's clean.
a couple of days ago, after the hurricane?"
Yeah.
It's looking much nicer. The tongue is shaping up clean, and a lot of the debris and the galvanized and all this thing like that has been moved out of sight.
The only one thing I think I wish we had, boy, a
Mhm.
crusher compactor.
Yes.
To crush all the
This
garbage.
metal just put inside and
Yeah.
go in a ball of fire and you just load them up on the barges. You could take a whole good load and
Mhm.
take them somewhere to sell them.
Well, I think they would do that in the
They have
end.
that, I think,
I
They
think,
have a
yeah,
process.
I think right now the process of, like, say, Hillsborough Recreation Ground being used as storage,
Yeah.
called temporary storage.
Mhm.
In the end, they would have maybe the compactor come in there and sort of like compress and compact, into containers to be shipped out,
Yeah.
for recycling.
Mhm.
Most likely that would be the next taking place there.
Well, that sounds good. Sounds good.
And even the one to do with chips, wood, and stuff like that too. I think that one would be used as well, as far as I've been hearing.
Yeah, yeah. But Kim, I can't stop repeating the response that we got from this cry for help.
Mm-hmm.
Karaku's been lucky,
Very lucky.
fortunate,
Uh-huh.
and we should be ever and forever grateful to each and every one who contributed. I think the response was overwhelming.
And this is just the beginning of the response to it.
But let me tell you something that almost brought tears to my eyes. Some friends from Tobago, led by one MacIver is his alias. They came to Carrick with 5 pirogues. One of the pirogue, and entrusted to go to Sandy Island with it.
Mm-hmm.
I said, well, that boat is called a teacher. I said, well, what? The thing load like a submarine coming down from Tobago. Down in the southeast of the when you're rolling. It's not no easy thing,
Mm.
But those guys came, they drop off all the cargo. And no sooner they drop off the cargo, tomorrow we're going to help with some tarpaulin and so on and so forth. And the thing that almost brought tears to my eyes, MacIver said, Uncle, your boy, we know you're coming for regatta, and do we all just treat us?
Mm-hmm.
We can never stand by idly and see Carrick in peril. So that
Gratitude,
that
appreciation.
warmed my heart so much.
Yeah.
And I said, boy, if you can do bad, don't do nothing, do good. And some way, somehow you come back to help you.
Yeah.
That's man.
Because I saw a group of them, the Tobagonians, and they were there trying whatever assistance you needed, and so friendly and so helpful in every respect, that they were there.
Dig this. But I say, start game chat, they bring food to
Mm-hmm.
meat season, crush seasoning, and the whole night. There's fish, fillet and slice and so on. I say, boy, I long for a broth, I'm going to make a broth. The only thing I miss now is some okra. Once we have okra, we bring okra.
Oh, look at that.
Them guys, they were so thorough.
That is preparation.
Yeah, man.
Really, really, very nice. Gentlemen, hold on a second. Let me try to take a phone call on the WhatsApp. WhatsApp caller. Caller, come in. Caller, you on. Caller?
Good morning, Kim.
Yes, good morning.
Good Leo.
Good morning,
And
sir.
good morning, Milton.
Good morning.
Good morning.
It's always a pleasure to look forward to joining the program. And the past week or so with Daryl, when the station was off, was like nothing to do on a Thursday. In line with the topic being discussed on the attitude and behavior of people at home, it leaves a lot to ponder and to think sometime, where do we envision ourselves going from here? Yes, trauma is been part of what has been experienced by many. But also what I have noticed based on conversation with person, videos I'm seeing coming out on Facebook and posts, some people just, they have not given themselves moment or that time to really say, oh, I could have lost my life, although I've lost my house or whatever it is, I'm still here. And there is room for me to be a better person or allow myself to see things at a different level. That is not happening. Instead, we have all the same old thing pre-burial taking place. What we need to understand is everyone is in this burial recovery process. Everyone is putting themselves in the place to help so that Cargo and Petit Martinique and even the Grenadine Isles, because I cannot leave out the Grenadine Isles like Mairo, Canoan, and Union Island that got affected. They are putting themselves to do things. And what I've noticed, like, some of the people are not even appreciative of what has been done. Myself and others, week after week, are going and going from 9 in the morning until 10, doing things, and people are complaining and getting on as if, okay, it's business as usual. It's not. Another thing that we fail to realize as administration
We just lost a
who
contact. Yes, go ahead.
I'm here.
Yes, go
Yeah,
ahead.
people outside who dealt with disaster in other parts of the world, they themselves are saying that they're doing a great job based on the timeline and the amount of work that is done. So why is our people being so negative and pessimistic if the outside world could see that and we are here only complaining? We have to start changing our behavior, and I pray to God that this whole burial passing will allow a lot of us to change. And if we don't change after this, God help us. Because I'm looking at it and I'm saying, really? Really? Are we really coming to see that God saved us in this moment? It could have been worse. Based on the circumstances of all the information and the weather that was showing during the burial time, it could have been worse. Look at the timeline that the Carriacou and Pitimani and the other place would be in the middle of the day, and we're not sitting down and say, "Oh my God, God was in all of this." Although some people say where God was and He caused the hurricane to strike, but we have to learn to change our behavior, change our attitude. And Leah said something to that effect. We need to change. We need to start thinking differently. It's not the time to be complaining about, oh, they're giving this, they're giving the parties, their party supporters food. We need to change everyone, whether it's on the NDC, NNP, or the non-supporters of either party. We all need to change, because people like myself, when we see and hear this, it makes us think, okay, why are you killing yourself? And these people don't appreciate what you're doing, So it's people, we have to start changing. Let be the catalyst. Let this now, post-burial, be the catalyst for the change of our behavior and attitude, because there is more years to come. There are more hurricanes to come, and all other things that can affect us as a people, a nation, an island, a country. We need to change. We need to change. We need to do self-examination at the moment. Forget about family, friends, party. Self-examination is what will make the difference. We make mistakes, yes, and I always say mistake is the greatest thing in life, because you know what? Mistake helps you to become a better person. Mistake helps you to think, okay, what I have done then, to what could I do better? So mistake is part of life. It is there for a reason. So forget about the mistake, what happened in the past, and just think about how you could better yourself. It has to be for you first and foremost before you could do it for anyone. So I just wanted to make this my contribution. We need to stop. We need to start thinking. We need to start saying, how could I be a different person in this whole, not even transformation anymore, but recovery and rebuilding. We need to do that. We are too small for that. Smaller island, smaller nation for what we're doing and we're going through at our own hands. It's enough. We need to stop. And I'm appealing to everyone. Please, let us do this together. Forget about the political side. Forget, we are human first and foremost. Let us be our brothers and sister keepers again, because believe you me, worse is going to come.
Yeah. So
I just want to share this and say thank you guys for the program, to all the listeners, to all the contributors week after week who call in or post. It's heartwarming, but we have to start acting as we care about each other. That is what is needed, and that is what could move mountains and make it a better Carriacou and Grenada to far extent. So I thank you. Okay. Blessed Thursday, blessed week to everyone. Weekend, be careful and continue to look out for yourself, your family, your loved one. And remember, your mental health and also your physical health is important.
Okay. Caller, thank you so much for your contribution. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
A lot was
said, eh?
She has a ditto from me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And she mentioned something there, which I think, is very, very, is seen here in most instances, the politics. The politics here.
I hate to even mention the word.
Yeah, but we have
to, at this stage, because it's so unnecessary and so unbecoming.
And I don't understand why some people just, before they see or hear anything, apply politics. Why? How would that help us solve the problems that we are having now? How would that help us to get out of where we are? I know
somebody comments coming from the other side.
Of course.
And I don't even want to say this on air, on radio, because it's not nice to say, but the attitude that they have, it seems as though that they're happy to see the situation that is existing now because of politics, In other words, like this government now, let me see what I go do. Let me see, it good. Look what happened. I mean, really, it's sickening. It's very, very sickening. I tell you the truth, it make me, just wonder, what. Oh boy, I'm lost for words, honestly.
No, but we have to face it head on. You see, if they are going to go down that route, yeah, and negate everything, even when it's glaringly positive in their eyes, they still can't see it. We have to confront it head on, because they would lead the island astray. Because if they want to lead us, and that's the leadership they want to give us, in leadership in peacetime is a different thing to leadership in wartime. I'm at the point. And now that we are in a disaster zone and the experiencing that the thing that we are experiencing now require unity. Nothing else. Not confusion, unity. If that's what they want to do, well, I mean, better we made the right choice, the decision, then not to give them the opportunity to lead us astray. I'm saying here that to get out of this requires unity. Differences aside.
Let me take another call. Hold us, Miss. A WhatsApp caller? Come in.
Yeah, hey, Tim.
Yes, go ahead, yeah.
Man, I ain't gonna work with Diablo. Diablo is a real devil, man. That's the devil himself. He ain't care about nobody. You know what I'm saying? That's it.
Okay, thank you so much, yeah. Yes, go back to call. You were saying there, yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying that, the only way to get out of this, not the only way, but the best way to get out of this is to unite with each other. And they say more hands make the work lighter. So we have to definitely come to the place where and agree that, hey, listen, if positive, that was done, Hurricane Barry.
That is very wishful thinking. That which we see today has been festering now for probably 30 years. And again, a lot of the young adults of today know nothing different. It's unfortunate. So what we have to do is going to be in existence, but we have to try weeding it out gradually. It's not going to happen overnight.
That's right.
Expect that kind of attitude to continue for a while yet, because they too must be part of the transformation and they're not yet ready to be transformed. So,
but they're taking instructions from the leaders, though. That is one of the problems that we have right now.
Let me tell you something. Yeah. The leader shortly will not be able to lead himself. With them, convention is not far, Convention is not far. And there we're going to prove who is man. You see, man? Go see
that is man.
That is man. I go see who is man and who is not man. So give it time. I believe in the man up there.
Mm-hmm.
I believe in Haiti. I believe in the man up there. So I think in the near, not too distant future, people will not find any leader to follow in that regard. But all we have to do, be vigilant and don't drop our guards. And just be steadfast in what we're doing and promoting who we have now, because I think is a brilliant alternative. Well, not a brilliant, it's the best we've got.
Mm-hmm.
So we just have to work with this person. Don't expect what you didn't do in 40 years, 23 years as Prime Minister to happen in 2 years' time. So you have not the authority, not the gall to criticize. You didn't show me anything good or substantive. What you're trying to you're trying to criticize now? What? Give somebody, and if you have any common sense, you'll see that something is wrong with that thinking. So just stop this foolishness about who is NNP and is NDC and Grenadians, Caraquans and Petit Martinicans. Let us try to work towards what for a better life. That one didn't work. I'm going back there.
Definitely.
You know.
But this is a time, like I've been saying, where we need all hands on deck.
You don't get it.
But it's showing its colors now, you know.
Of course.
It's showing its
So we
colors
just-
now because we realize now that all the hands are not on the deck.
Oh.
There's some deck.
So-
There's
so-
some hands that are pulling and tugging and trying to avoid anything substantial, you know, in the interest of people from happening. And this is a problem.
So Leo, do you say we wouldn't get it?
No.
We won't get it.
No.
So what do we do now?
No, keep using the hands that we have on deck to make for a better trip.
But
But don't expect everybody on deck. They ain't coming.
well,
They ain't coming. But as long as we could keep as many as we want on deck to move forward, we're going to pursue that and try to improve it incrementally. But do not expect it to happen overnight.
certainly not.
It ain't happening.
But we have to have some groundation to teach our people. We won't just because of us speaking about it here now. It won't just happen in society. We have to have a deliberate plan to teach people these kinds of things. Most things that we know, they are taught in the classroom or on the outside. Yeah. So I'm just trying to say we should have a plan to let people get the opportunity to learn these things and learn it. Don't just take it for granted and say, well, you know, we're going through a hard time. Everybody must come together. They're things that we need to have a deliberate plan and effort to teach people.
Whichever you have, be it your exercise book and your lead pencil or your slate and your pencil, get it out. And let me tell you what we have to do. Spread the wisdom of our new Prime Minister. He's already given you the lead on.
Template.
Your template. When he's telling you that we want every child to go to school, and if you're not good at academics, we're making you whatever you're good at is a step in the right direction. We're not promoting as a means to an end Imani or devotion. Forget that. To going from primary to tertiary education, that to us is already a better step. Don't you see? Spread the word. Who here tell the others? That is what Deacon doing. Tell who didn't hear and must learn that we need to improve our health situation. And here we are talking about a teaching hospital. I must admit, when Gary first introduced the idea of a St. George's University to train doctors, I thought Gary belonged in Richmond Hill. I thought he was crazy. Now I had to eat me good words, and today is the biggest thing. So here is our Prime Minister saying, we ain't thinking small again, we're thinking big, and we're going to get to that big size in increments. You don't believe we'll get a teaching hospital?
Of course, yes. Of course, yes.
Well, how come in all this amount of think about something as a teaching hospital? So this is an idea that we must have, and this is an idea we have to spread the message and pursue that. We want to go, we get a teaching hospital. We don't want to go where we get in 350 from some little fund in the Prime Minister's office. That those days done.
Under seed?
Yes, under seed or under FIT and all those kind of ridiculous organizations. We have a different approach. And we have people who I think is going to keep the promise. So we have to follow that. Or even though they keep it, at least we're going back the biggest and they don't want to keep the promise anyway.
So you are saying the way forward, we have to spread that message.
Yes, the good message.
Teach people in
Yes.
their homes, on their workplaces.
Amen.
You see how they used to have classes?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I tell you can take your lessons for your homework.
You know, something the Prime Minister said, that is something that I smiled when I listened to the reaction.
Mhm.
He said, you have to stay in school for 1 year longer. Why, I mean, in the absence of that, where would you be? On the street, on the road, if you're not working. And even if you're working, you still, people are still going and do classes. So the point is better preparing ourselves for the future.
Mhm.
So instead of leaving school at 16 or 15 and so on and so forth, and the law now makes it mandatory that you go up to 18.
I've heard the word pension so many times. But you think about it. You stop and think about it. That prior to the Deacon Mitchell administration, only the ministers of government, of course, that will include the leader, McCain getting left out. No matter what you do, you have to be in the mix. Any deal, you have to put your hand in it. He's the only one eligible for pension after 2 terms. And everybody else who want to work as a donkey, with or without copra, you're getting nothing. So those things, it's obvious. You know, the choice is not in a rocket science to see which is the better direction.
But as you mentioned in the beginning there, Sergio, and the Prime Minister stressed on education and vocational skills that we need to develop, to empower ourselves in those areas. And I see it coming into play at this moment. Because right now in Carriacou, there is a shortage of those skills, especially in the rebuilding process.
We are the plumbers.
We are the plumbers.
We are the plumbers.
The carpenters.
The electricians.
Yes.
We have to rewire our homes, and it's not going to be just do any old thing. You got to do it right. Yeah. Where are these people? We need them now.
No need to single out anybody.
Well, just
suffice it to say, we need help in just about every every profession.
Yeah.
In this Carriacou. For a matter of fact, we need labor, we need manpower. So that I was telling the Prime Minister, I wish we could have, from somewhere, years ago, when they wanted to pick fruits in Florida. Remember this is come pick guys here?
Yes,
people was happy to go where they come. Some of them come back with the hair well called, but they wouldn't pick fruits. So, and a little change in the pocket. I am telling you, you see places as, you have a scam too, but I don't know if some recommendation, be the Philippines, be Guatemala, we're not Honduras, forget that. But Mexico, there's a lot of people there that would earn a better salary here than where they're from. And they're good workers and skilled workers, they'll be happy as a pig in field.
And the attitude is different.
Yes, get those people, just to bring them here and leave them too long to spoil them with Carriacou. Because we...
Spoil them with Carriacou people or them to spoil us?
Carriacou people spoil them. They were talking about.
I thought you were saying that they would spoil us.
No. Carriacou people? Yeah. And what Sodiri is saying is making sense, But we need this labor force right now in our rebuilding process because we don't have it. And if we were like doing that from the beginning, we wouldn't be looking out and reaching out to other islands now to come in.
And I, when I talk, and I'd like to see Carriacou because that's one. And I want to take out that thing in my eye before I take out in somebody else's eye. But we are guilty as charged. We don't have the manpower. A lot of the youngsters of today in Carriacou are Kimbo Kings. You know what's a Kimbo King, though?
Yeah.
For someone who does not know, and these sayings are from yesterday, what is a Kimbo King?
Not from a money making. Stand the corner only we are posing. That's a Kimbo King.
Oh, that was Sparrow was
not Sparrow.
No, I'm just asking him that was what Sparrow was singing about.
No, that boy. My Jamaican boy, I forget what his name is.
I know.
Yes. He said walk blinging and they stand up or something, but as far as contributing to the production, they're absent. So we need somebody. As Leo Wally doing, what happened to Ricardo this year? I said, well, we have to do something, but what are you doing? But we have to do something, but what are you doing?
Yeah.
So that's the attitude.
Then
they need at all.
Yeah.
So
absent.
Yeah.
Absent. Yeah.
And we're too small to be so divided, not only in politics, but in labor force too. Who walking and who sleeping? Can't afford that. We need all that we have in Carriacou and more, and we ain't getting half. I tell you, I told my good buddy George, I tell him I have an idea. I think it's going to work well. But in Carriacou, looking for 2 good men. And his question to me is, we getting all that?
All that?
All that. 2?
2.
So what are we saying? Are we really badly off?
Yeah. On labor. We are.
Let me just give the telephone numbers again, okay? The lines to reach us 403-0101, 403-0101 and 534-3097. 534-3097. You want to call and join the conversation? Feel free to do it. Speak out unfiltered as always. Okay, get back to you, Koi. And we're asking where we're going to get this labor force from. Where, Solio, how do we harness this labor force? What are you going to do?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't have the information, but you see, for example, from a government to government level, there are people who are unemployed and good people looking for work in the country and they can find it, With you, let me tell you something. Well, in America it's different, but it pained my heart. I was there just recently. And in the cold weather, you see a amount of guys standing outside Home Depot. Yeah. You want somebody to walk? You want somebody to walk? You want somebody to walk? You can't go to and pick them up and discipline. So what are you trying to tell me? You see a amount of people, man. People by the...
Yeah. As a matter of fact, you got to push them away to get through.
Yeah, I tell you what, a lot of them, those guys, I mean, everybody wants to go to America, but as an alternative, they'll have a mighty good life in Carriacou compared to what they have home,
Mm-hmm.
I know that for a fact.
Yeah.
So we have to look. We might have to do some sifting, but we have to look. We could do that for people here in Carriacou.
Leo, just by way of information, somebody just said that the singer name is King Stepper.
King Stepper.
That's the singer name.
Yeah, that Kimbo King.
Kimbo King. Yes. King Stepper.
Yeah.
In fact, please just lost. King joke.
So, Leo?
Yes, sir.
Somebody just asked me how come you back your cap today?
Yeah, I meant to ask him that too,
I tell him I'm trying to retard my age.
What's up, caller? Caller, come in. Caller, you on? Caller, what's up, caller? Come in.
Yeah, talking. Hello?
Yes, you're on. Yeah, we listen to you. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, you see, if the government, you deal with me?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, go ahead.
If the government, not the government, the past government has robbed this country of so much money, investment, the millions of dollars that went down the drain and still unaccounted for. If the people and them really get save that money and put it to the right use, we would not be in that kind of financial catastrophe they know as Carriacou and Petit Martinique and Grenville and Sotel are suffering. And up to now, they have the audacity to come and say we're not building back fast enough. Seriously think about it,
Yeah.
The stadium they say was insured. Nothing to show. The last lie they gave us, election, they get oil, they find oil. Up to now, we can't see a drop of it. But all the gradients. And they're using another thing, I'm going on. Using the airwaves, their propaganda news media, to defame and spread a lot of lies to their own listening public, to put the government in a bad light. I pray and I hope Gradients to wake up and don't fall victim to the propaganda news media and then some of them FM stations that perpetrating a lot of wrong of what the government is doing. The government is doing very well. They have good credibility and more credibility than that past. Glad I know can't find words in my vocabulary to describe these people, boy, Lord. While you continue doing a good work here, God bless.
Okay, thank you so much.
I know in time of need and stress, Norkins has this thing, we always get help. But I am saying that this time is the most I've seen yet. And I'll submit that I must credit some of that to our Prime Minister, who a lot of people see and like and believe in.
Yeah.
And the fresh kid on the block is trying a good job, in addition to his ability to meet and greet people and charm people and get some things for us. They themselves have taken a liking to us, and that had some benefit coming to us this way.
You're right. The support we've been seeing, getting from our neighboring countries or islands in the Caribbean as well, too. The relationship that it has established in such a short time, and the response that is coming now.
Years ago, if you send a letter to Carriacou, and you put Grenada in the bottom, that letter going to Curacao, you know.
Yes.
Now the letter come direct to Caracol. Caracol begin the dance now, you know. Everywhere turn is Caracol, everybody Caracol. Some of them can say carry a cop, Caracol, whatever it is.
Whatever. We
But
know.
on the map,
Yeah.
Berlin do all bad. A Berlin place or somewhere. So it's an opportunity to ride that wave to a better situation for us all. Build back better and stronger.
And as you mentioned, the support that we're getting from our Prime Minister.
Yeah, well, of course.
I mean, it's really, really unbelievable because he's on the ground, he's here, he's there, he's everywhere, and he's doing his best. And I could see, I tell you honestly, Solio, I could see us rising to the next level in quick time, record time.
Let me tell you something. I believe, as my name is Leo, all we have to do is to support this young fellow and his crew, and we're going to get to where we've never been before.
Vibes FM, WhatsApp caller coming. Vibes FM, caller coming. Caller coming. Yes.
Good morning.
Yes.
Good morning.
How we do?
Good morning.
Yeah. Good program. I'm from another Grenada. I'm from Myro, but I live in Grenada. Good program you're having.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
And the guy make a comments a while ago that bringing different country because you could even go to Haiti and bring people to work too because a lot of people have different skills. You just filter people and bring them in because you have people who want job because we don't have enough people in the grindings with skills because a lot of people in grindings don't pick up skills. Mr. Leo was saying something like that, you know, bring a lot of tradesmen and in Mexico because I used to be in Mexico a lot. There are a lot of mason engineer. You bring them in to work even for a short time, and they can teach the people in Carrico and Myro and Union new skills, so you can have different type of house building.
Amen.
Because the house we have around here is not really. I mean, it's strong, but we gotta bring in different ideas, you know. And it's a good idea the guy. It's a good idea the guy bring up there. It's a good idea. We have to open the country to a level now. The country has to open now, so people can learn different things.
Yeah, you're right. You're right about that. Yeah, caller.
Yeah. You can go on. You could go out in Africa to bring people too. So you have a multi things. You can have a build country. We're coming in.
Correct.
Crime. We don't want no people with crime and stuff.
Correct.
And they build a better country because the grand people don't hold on skills. They take skills. Skills very important to learn skills.
Yeah,
man. So keep going.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, good program. Yeah, good program.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And this is something again that we said we're missing, and this is something that this government is planning to bring into the forefront of education people. And not everybody is academically inclined, you know, but you might have your hands might be of some use or even better than reading a book. And this is where it comes in. And in every society, you have different levels of people in different areas, professions, that makes the country whole, you know. Because as much as we might sometimes look at the people who sweep the streets, hey, they're just as important as the doctor sitting in an office. Because if they don't do that and keep our environment clean, what are we heading for? Disaster. So everybody has a part to play. And this is where we all
I think
come
that,
in.
Kim, we want to, and we should encourage people to accept people for who they are, and do not look down on others, because there's something you talk about here. Sometimes you feel, boss, I'm a teacher. I'll just give you an example. But you walking, you're walking in the road. let's put it that way. Walking in the road, I'm a teacher, and they see you in a different light. They see you down. They see you as an equal. And these are the things that we need to also encourage in the changing of attitude that we're talking about. See us as equals. Yes, everybody could take instruction from each other because we are, we are on the same journey, on the same path. But do not tell yourself that you are higher than IT and are better than. Let us see how we can level off and shake my other fellow's hand.
You see those type of conditions that you're talking about? As long as they're small-minded people, as long as they're non-entities and ignoramuses, those conditions will exist. Watch and guard against it. I was telling somebody I'm not racially prejudiced, because any person of a different ethnicity that think that or is going to discriminate against me because of my skin or something, so you go on, I discriminate against you long ahead of you because I have nothing to do with you. Don't make people think that you under them. That small talk. The world gone too far. That's why I also be upset with my people that you have somebody who is your leader and he's sitting in about 3 different towers and you're in a pit latrine and you're jumping and dancing for him. So I know who you go blame for that. You have to beat something out of these people's head. You're talking about they take away the 350, you take away 150. The man have 19 million, 20 million. And you're calling about 350. What do you want from the people? Huh? So you can see, you don't expect the 19 or 20 million, but $250, tell us there's something wrong. It must be that something is wrong. So if you, I think God help us, God give all of us a brain. We're not able to use it to the same extent, but can't you see? Come on. What's the problem? And you still have the gall and something. Oh boy.
443-0101-439-0101. And I have to do those numbers again. So used to the WhatsApp numbers. 403-0101 and 534-3097. WhatsApp caller, you on? Caller coming now. Caller coming.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning. Yes.
Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah.
I'm picking you up through Radio Trinidad, and I'm very happy for that. I missed it last week.
Okay.
But I'm getting you straight from Radio Trinidad now because I listen to Trinidad often because they have a lot of problem as well with the killing and the disunity and the election comment.
Okay.
My view of the whole thing is this: is when the beehive, when you go and harvest honey.
Caller, let me stop you for a second. Caller, stop for a second. Just turn your volume down on your radio where you're listening.
Okay, because I'll go in the other room.
Oh, lovely. Nice. Okay.
When you go and harvest honey in the beehive, what you notice, the honey is so sweet, but you think it's all the bees that produce it? It's only the worker bees.
Okay.
So the honey is sweet. When the buildings...
Yes, go ahead.
But it's only a handful. So you have to have courage in the end product. Your courage, that's why the word courage, hope, faith, all them things introduced. Because it's the end product you're looking at. You're not looking at the immediate ball game now. But the people who can't see the end product, they believe everything as is will stay as is. Everything is dynamic. Right? In December, when you analyze it, you're shocked to see the change in Kaiko. And they will come and say, whoa, boy, what your Kaiko? We do that, we do this. We kill the bear.
I hear you.
The other thing I want to emphasize is a long time I haven't called, but the other thing I want to emphasize, listen to politics around the world. It is always a controversy. What Satan has done to the world now, he's thrive on controversy. So the good people get weak in faith. But I'm putting my hand in that again now because nobody appreciates me. But don't work for the appreciation of people. Do what you ought to do. Those who don't love you in the end will come and commend you. And that is what the scriptures really talk about. Stick to the task. Okay? And I'm very happy to hear you all from Radio Trinidad because the people in Trinidad speaking very great of the Prime Minister in Trinidad, especially with the no bail case, because in Trinidad they have a lot of problems with bail and things like that with murderers.
Okay, yeah.
They rate a young man here very high in the calling programs.
Very good.
Okay.
So we gotta pray for our young leader. This is his time. No matter what nobody says, that's his time. God designated that for his time. He will be successful because everybody has the slot of time in this world.
Yes.
And you look at the rough and thing now. When you see how the helicopter come, they say like the fly. He get You don't even have to hire a helicopter. You get a free one. Think of that.
You're right.
I don't want to sit. I don't want to block the line too much. Carl, good morning. Hello.
Good morning. Good morning.
Thank you. Good morning.
All right. Thank you so much for your contribution.
Blessing. Be strong in the power of the Lord, man. No worries. Be strong. Right. Bye.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Okay.
All right. You know,
we got a helicopter.
Yeah, well, I mean, I used to, I watched the helicopters 2, 3, 4 trips between Carriacou and Pitmatnik going over back and forth. I say, wow, look at how, look at how it just it come.
But you remember when we had the
I hope we talk about the Bandarante though.
Yeah, but hold on.
What are you talking about?
No, hold on.
One come and one go.
No. But when we had the anniversary celebration, if you remember, the part of the presentation was the helipad in Bel Air, you know, where our helicopters would be landing, you know, taking off.
Okay.
And
you talking about teaching hospital?
Yeah.
The heliport. We have a heliport on top of the building. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But again, we're thinking ahead. We must be able to transport emergencies and all those good things.
Yeah, we want to get to point A to point B in a quick time.
Yeah, I mean
that could be the alternative.
Look, we're talking about the actual not transportation, but transporter. No, we're talking about and the other one talking about we aim have night landing. You know how long we've been talking about that? So is the direction you want to go, your vision, and people with the vision will perish, and that's why we've been perished all the time.
And perishing.
Yes, we've been perishing and catching hell and calling it well, because the things that you're looking at as a benefit to your people is detriment. I for the life of me, how many people are going to put in an Imani program and without direction? Some people in rum shop, some people that. What are you learning as a professional just to take you out of that situation that you're in? Those things, when you want to stop and think about it, that was a crime to youngsters, you know. Instead of trying to create some programs where they could learn something, you just put them there, could give them a little pittance so they keep quiet. It's like when, you know, those Imani people are calling them what the suckness pacifiers. You know, a child call for milk and you broke, you put a pacifier in your mouth. Suck it.
Stop the crying.
Yes, and to suck the pacifier and dip yourself. That is what the bush needs all about.
Keep quiet.
Keep quiet, yes. No fret me.
Put that in your mouth.
Yes.
Wow.
And this is one of the problems that we have right now that is unfolding in front of us to Solio, because what happened is that we are seeing the fruits of that farm, because the attitude of most of these people is just ridiculous. They just figure everything should be handed to them, and I don't have to work.
Entitlement.
That's it, and it's your job. So what they do is sit by and they say, "What the government doing? You're supposed to do that. Supposed to do that," and they forget the idea of them providing for themselves.
Yes,
and that is it.
What's the government doing?
But yes, not what are you doing? You know what the government do.
Wow.
And that's again. But there was a purpose for that. That was why we call it voting farm.
Yeah, but that is a lesson well taught. That is how to remain loyal to nobody. Make you a lunatic. So you could do nothing for yourself, and somebody else always had to do something for me. So I must gravitate to that person. And that person is my friend. I must hold this person on top of my head, because when I go in the office, they give me a 150.
That's it. And they're satisfied with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. And you lie down in the bed, you sleep there all morning. You don't even want to know what time of the day it is.
Don't get them on the first. But if you notice, a lot of the young fellas who exalt in this last administration, check them out closely. They're lazy. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
Again, Kimbo King. Kimbo King, that's all we're creating. And, and the sad fact of the matter, those fellas who don't know how to do anything for themselves want to have children.
Yeah.
Not only want to have children, they are having children.
They are having children, they want to. Yeah. So what are they going to produce again? After its kind?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So
and then the problem is
continues
escalating
to fester.
Yeah, that's it, because that's what you're growing, that's what you're brewing.
Wow.
And this is one of the problems I think we have, and boy, I tell you, like I've been saying for the longest while, we've been blessed with our new administration, the Honorable Prime Minister Dickon Mitchell, because he's visionary. He's seen things down the future, down. If you remember, they did a presentation with the $50 note, not the Vision 75. That's what it was called there. And you look at what the projections, what they're looking to go forward within a specific time. Listen, it's very, very, very interesting. I mean, you could see right there and then, if we were to achieve that goal, we'll be moving in a direction way past others, especially in our region, because the attitude has changed. But that's the problem we have right now. We have to change the attitude of people. Slowly, it's happening, because I could see it happening already. But it's been embedded for too long.
Yes, it can't come so easy.
Yes, the roots went way, way down. But I'm hopeful, because I see some Tambantry who are considered 100 years plus. Yeah, I saw.
Better take them out.
What happened to them and not break them in?
Root them up.
Root them up. So you see the roots all over the place. Tambantry. So I said, wow.
I saw a couple of them too.
Yeah.
But then just give them and really credit coconut easy too,
I know.
They limboing right down and come back up again.
Yes.
It's coconut tree and stamp. You don't see that?
But I just around me, just around here, if you were to look, you would see the coconut tree standing with one branch.
Yeah.
Still standing
But
up.
I always refer to coconut trees as missiles.
No, just don't take like with coconut tree, no?
What happened to you, man?
Don't take like
If them coconut they start to pelt.
Yeah, they're good, yes.
But the tree itself, I've seen trees almost down, touching.
Yeah, and good
way down.
Yes, and come back up again.
And come back up. And all now still standing strong.
Wow.
I think that there has to be a commitment that we have individuals have to make. I think this experience about this bill is not a group thing. You not say all of us inside here. I think the thought is we have to see it as a personal thing. When the wind was blowing and all those things were happening, it was us personally. Yeah? I mean, not necessarily as a family I'm talking about here, but see it as a me. I almost cried. I went on a bed and hide because why? I was scared. So if you see it as personal, we should understand that the changes that we are talking about begins with me too.
But let me tell you what, somebody explained the reason for so few deaths. And the explanation was that the Almighty left so many of us alive as a warning, so you could see the might and the power of nature and God. Mend your ways. Do better. Don't let me have to come back. Don't let me have to come back. I warn all you. So all those who lives were spared, is that we adjust, think it over. The small things that we involved in and getting ourselves all upset about, forget it. If all them babies have another baby come back again.
A warning.
So we have to take it, because if you think about Janet, almost people died.
Right.
And what we lost and burial, and a hurricane that's twice as furious, or 3 times as furious, and you come up with 4 deaths, 3 deaths?
Yeah, actually 3. 3 in terms of the time, the passage.
Yeah.
But of course, we expected to have more than that as time go on, but of course, minimal in comparison to what you're saying, Leo.
Yeah.
In comparison to Janet.
Yeah. And Janet was a mild little fella.
But then again,
a mild little girl in comparison to the girl burial.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. As a matter of fact, we heard a
lot. But then again, too, Leo, we didn't have access to all the information that we now have. So we weren't aware then in 55. I mean, that it was no. I'm saying the information that we have now. It is right around the corner. It's coming up. It's located here, located there, and so on.
Yeah. Which was not. Yes.
Yeah. So in them time, I mean, you just look up in the sky and say, "Boy, the cloud getting thick, boy." That. So I'm just saying, they didn't have that, and we have it. We should have been able to do better.
for one to be, she should be forearmed. But again, no matter how much of a warning you get, the
Yes, very.
structure that you occupy and call home, even if you, he don't know the warning, when somebody else will come through, that is for you and your house. Goodbye, Charlie. There's nothing substantive to stand up to what the bird has to offer. So again, we have to be so count our blessings.
Well, yeah, and this is something that we sometimes, just slide off a lot, because like somebody was saying to me, escape danger to a certain extent. Because if you walk in the middle of the night, forget it. We ain't good again. That would have been it, but we survived. And we have to give thanks and praises. And now the rebuilding process is what we need to do and do different. We need to observe building codes, take necessary steps to make our building stronger, just to be a little bit more resistant in case we were to get a repeat of something like that.
Well, along those lines, hopefully that will be guided in the future. And don't have a physical plan department where you get certified because of who you know and not what you do.
Yeah.
So if we get that, we do.
One of the things I see very interesting happening here, very interesting, is that we having a lot of help from our neighbors, meaning places like Guyana, Trinidad, St. Lucia, and they are on island, and they are trying their best in whatever way to see if they can assist, in the repairing of roofs, the buildings, especially, those that are what we call the essential services, because the island needs to come back up. And that is applauding to see the support that we're getting. And they come with the materials too. So in other words, they're not even looking to see if they could use what we have here, because they have an idea what was needed, and they came here with ton loads.
And that is so true. The regions did what they have to do. But I must make reference to this, what they call themselves, Samaritan's Purse.
Yes.
Wow. What can you say? That is that is a unit within itself,
That is it.
And the people have been so friendly, and you look at some folks with desalination water, when they go, they just full their bucket and they turn their backwards. And sometimes you see people say good morning and say thank you, man.
That's all.
So we did. We just
no.
Listen. So why it was done? Why it was done? Lack of appreciation. Why it was done? If it's not so today,
we see
you and I will go there and we'll say good morning earlier and so on.
Because you see what has happened over here. There's been a breakdown in disciplines.
Well, that's a general, state. That's a state we are in.
This is something that we have to work on, because you and I know very well in our day of growing up there. If you didn't say thank you when somebody do something for you, you get in licks.
What you mean?
Yeah,
definitely. What, you crazy?
Appreciation.
Yes.
What Johnny King say?
Appreciation. Yeah.
and good morning.
Yeah.
You couldn't pass your neighbors just like that. You had to say good morning.
You let it a fly.
Yes. And in discipline too for us too. If that the neighbor would discipline you, but don't make the neighbor go and tell your parents, because you get in the double.
Yes.
I didn't train you so,
Yes, man. Sex and size.
And that's it. And the Samaritans, as you just mentioned there, that what they've been doing. Oh, we just lost one of the. Okay, let me get it back. Okay.
People are saying that, Kim, we lost Sir Leo and Mr. Coy.
Okay.
They want to see us.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. All right. Okay, you guys are back again. There. But these are things that we need to observe, and we need to make sure that our youths now be able to have a different attitude, showing appreciation. Because if we don't do things like that, it's not what we're supposed to be doing. We didn't grow so.
Something that we should be, the Department of Education here in Grenada. Those simple little basics like good morning, thank you, please. Civics in school, oh God. If somebody getting 15 subjects and then get civics and then get music, what are we teaching? Civics, we? Good morning, good afternoon, thank you, please, how to do, and those kind of good things.
Critical thinking.
That's it. You are not critical, that's basic.
I know, yeah, but I'm just saying, learn to reason and think.
Yeah, no
That's what
problem.
I'm talking about. That's civic sarcasm, understand me? The ability to think about
Mr.
those positive things.
Brother Leonard, my good teacher, would say, thank you how educated you are. If you can say good morning, thank you, and please, you are uneducated. How many subjects you have doesn't make a difference. So those things are the basics, and first in life you must have it and treasure it and use it effectively. And saying thank you, my goodness, is a deposit of money in the bank. You're sure to get again. Tell somebody, I appreciate what you do. I'm really glad you helped me. I thank you.
Okay.
There's a deposit.
Now, one of the things that I'm very happy in seeing, and you mentioned it slightly in the beginning there, it pertains to the supporting the diaspora. Now, what has been happening in that you have so many of the different organizations that are coming together, pooling together, sometimes on jobs, whatever the case may be, and trying to see if they could get some, whatever assistance is necessary, is needed down here. And I know, for instance, in the Karaku community, number of them are pulling their weight together to make sure that we get some of the assistance that we need. And the government is supporting too by giving this free barrel until the end of the year. Not only free barrel, but there's some, appliances, small appliances.
Yeah, well, the contents, yes.
The contents there, that you'll be able to get in there, to bring it back to, normal if possible, without paying any taxes, dollars, duties, and things like that. So that is very, very, very good. And I think people should take advantage of those that opportunity right now to assist those in need that are here. But the problem I see with that is that a lot of the younger folks who might be getting some of this assistance just feel it's a duty that these people are supposed to to do. It's a duty. In other words, you're supposed to send barrels, you're supposed to do this, supposed to do that. And they don't realize the stress, the headaches, and the sacrifice that they are making to get these things to you.
In other words, OPL is mandatory.
Other people labor, you mean?
In other words, you get where you get upon some OPL.
Yeah. OPL, yeah.
Yes, so, but, is that not, they believe that the young one said OPL is mandatory? You must bring more you have.
But isn't that, I mean, as this issue is raised, isn't that contributing towards the dependency syndrome?
No. See, there are times when you need help. In times of disaster.
Yeah.
You would do it, because let me tell you what, the condition that Karak was in, and even after Janet, the conditions that Karak was in, you're mad. We had, well, of course, not in this magnitude, but we have American battleships popping in, British battleships popping in. Remember, we had to go on the Benny night and joke stuff to put in the school for distribution. So clothes and things, you have a special type of khaki pants they make. So you put on in the OPL.
Yeah, oh yeah, you identified right away.
Decide
OPL. Well, I know that quite a number of people said to me, because I was just a little baby at the time, but the sizes, they were outsized. In other words, you wearing a small and you're wearing your size is small and you're wearing an extra large.
Yes, one size fit all.
That's it.
So when you pull the waist, you make about 15 pleats.
Yeah, you just drag it.
Ready-made pleats,
huh? Yeah.
Ready-made pleats.
Yeah.
You know how to make it just squint up.
Yeah, but what are you going to do?
But I heard a comment come from one youngster just a couple of days ago, and he says that his folks tell him they're going to send a couple of barrels for them, But you know what he said, which shocked me and surprised me? He said, I hope they're sending money to transport it to you.
Well, they want it to come in their bedroom. As a matter of fact, they want them to open the barrel, whatever the box or whatever it is. And
I mean, you imagine that?
That's what I'm talking about. This attitude of dependency, even to that extent. Oh gosh, you're getting free taxes. Yeah, you're getting it. Friends, families send it for you.
Yeah? That attitude is full grown because it was planted a long time ago. And so that's the reason for it. Yeah, man. Give me.
No. We have to move past that. And if we don't, as a people, we're not going to be going anywhere. And this is one of the things.
Dog it with away.
Yeah, no, but this is one of what the administration is trying to see if they could instill into the younger folks right now, to make sure that if you are educated, if you get yourself, a good education, I believe that your attitude will change. There's no if about it.
See, because education is knowledge, The more you know, the more you know. There's nothing wrong with knowing. So when you're educated, you have, to a certain extent, some knowledge that you normally have. You learn something. That's why you read and all those good things. So once you have more knowledge, you get more power and you are more powerful. So you could imagine in other instances to stand up for yourself and defend your cause. So we must remember, knowledge is power. And to power together, nobody could split us asunder. That's the real McCoy. That's what we have to look on to.
Okay, let me remind our listeners again, the telephone number is 403-0101. You want to call live, you can do so, 403-0101 and 534-3097. 534-3097. If you want to call and make a contribution to the program, you can do so right now. This Speak Out Unfiltered, and we do this program every Thursday and from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Now, inside the diaspora, Salio, and I know you have a lot of contacts and everything like that up in the diaspora there. What are the people up there thinking right now in terms of traveling? I'm talking about, like coming back to Carriacou. What is the mood like?
Well, a lot of people want to come back. To a certain extent, people want to come to look at whatever holdings they have here. Some are curious and some want to help. The thing is, we need some guidance as to, we don't want to duplicate and triplicate stuff. And that's why I will strongly say, I don't think in Carriacou now that we've shortened food. We're getting food raw, we're getting food cooked. So nobody's starving in Carriacou. What will be happening in the near future, people might be needing some assistance to help start to build back. Because now, when those insurance companies, they're very good at collecting premium, but anytime you come to make a claim, the attitude changes,
Yeah.
And so I know that there are a lot of folks here in Carriacou who are uninsured. And in the instance of those who are insured, by the time you take the deductible and you deduct some of those fees, you have not much to show for it. So by and large, most of the houses here will have to be fixed from pocket. Some may be able to do so, others not at all. So that's it. You see the reason that there are people who are simply not going to try to build back. Just leave it alone. And we have people here who are affected by this tragedy and could do no better, might just say, well, goodbye, I'm leaving. So never to come back. That's the state of affairs in Carriacou.
But then we need like replacements, because if the population we have is so small already, and you would have some people who would decide now, well, this is it, I'm going to migrate, and just leave Carriacou back then, which means we're creating space for others to come. So in other words, now, this is what we were saying earlier on, importing workers in Carriacou now could be a plus. Once you stay within our disciplines, and you
have the skill.
And you have the skills. And it's possible to working alongside people with skills, you could get some experience to basically go on your own at some point in time.
And that's why America, to a certain extent, is so good, because they have so many different ethnicities from God will, all over the world.
Yeah.
And people bring their way of doing things to a situation. So this melting pot is America. You could find any and all kind of talents there. So, with that, you will be able to learn something new every day. You never know.
Vibes FM, landline caller. Not landline caller, rather. WhatsApp caller, you on? Caller, come in.
I just call. I just call back for a minute clarification.
Yeah.
Insurance companies in a disaster that will give you total loss. There is no. That is why the supervisor of insurance in that country is the most important man. The Auditor General, the supervisor of insurance, is important people to ensure that things go according to protocol and rules. Now, British American, CLICO, and all of them collapsed because of the supervisor of insurance. Now, GCO, all this company, you have to ensure there's a certain minimum deposit in the treasury to put bonds and things like that to cater for money. Got to come from outside. They have to buy government bonds and things. But I don't know if people are looking at that. I don't know if the new administration.
I don't know if it's true.
Of insurance. The Auditor General. Right?
Yeah.
These are the people who are the watchdog then of the economic system. Because I think that is total loss. Because one insurance company alone in Ivan put $54 million. Total loss. They walk around there with a checkbook. That's what I know. They come in your house and write the check. It was total.
That's good.
Yeah, okay.
Right. The thing I praise this government for is talking about insuring these Chinese houses. Every house they build right now, whether it's for 25,000, 50,000, and insurance taking board house, don't let nobody tell you they doesn't insure board house. That is not true. So I'm telling you that every house that they build for people now have to be insured because 10, 20 years from now, another will pass, and the same will recycle back another about who want to build back another thing. Even though but you cannot build houses now for people and spend the money and say, I get the house free, and everybody, your salary must be reduced with insurance as well your NIS, property deduction of insurance. That will take the load off the government and the pressure and the responsibility of all. You see, no sense raising salary.
Okay, I see the point that you're making. Yeah.
That is what makes in COVID, they give out thousands of dollars in the States and everybody balling now, they're asking. Buy no shares in no bank, they don't do nothing. So you can't castigate those who are rich. Because the rich man understand if you give the Bible, tell you they will take from those who don't have and give those who have. Because those who have know to manage money. So now we get an experience with this hurricane. You don't know nothing about just Viking, you build back a house for a man and how you want to put to whatever roof. These things have to be insured when government build houses. Because we're going to get earthquake, which is another big backlog, and even worse than this.
Yeah, okay.
The oil in Trinidad, the plate is moving. You heard about that whole thing. You heard Africa is splitting down the middle of it. You heard about all that? The continental plate, right?
Okay.
So what you're going to have is disaster down the line. Then you have fire, which is another thing, the dry season. Insure those houses. And this thing about absolutely free, I'll give you to make them, give them work and make them responsible. So you have the government apparatus every year. They do an audit statement, which is what British American wasn't doing. Make sure things are on top. Is a discipline. Government is a discipline thing. It's not a. You understand the point I'm making?
Yeah.
And run the country by shift. You can't build back a hurricane 8 to 4. You have 2 sets of civil servants. One take the work from 6 to 12. The next time you can't close in daylight. About 4 o'clock we're going home. 2 shifts. Anyway, I'll finish.
But sometimes the business must be able to support the shifts, you know?
Yeah.
Brother Leo?
Yes, sir.
Brother Leo?
Yes.
You know that the next thing the government has to
you drop for a while.
Sure they have enough inventory. Make them know whether they're working, whether the business open or not. Make sure that they order enough inventory. Because with the amount of money that comes in the island, you're going to have what they call inflation. There will not be enough goods to supply all this building in one time in the rush, the bulk demand. So you have to give them concession for warehouse. Let them buy a quarter of an acre land, rent it somewhere, and you have a whole boatload of lumber coming from Roberts alone, the next boatload for Bossel, so that this price could be stabilized.
Okay. Yeah.
So they put money in the society because of inflation. They come back and say, boy, you don't know, I'm going to the supermarket, the rice gone up, the government no good. So government have to be having a rough hand too. It's not, yes, you're nice and your thing, you're free, but you have to have leadership. Get the businessmen to understand that the stabilization of the cost of living, not fat and thing alone. Because remember, when you remove the VAT, you create a hole in the economy that you have to supply down the line. You still have to give them the monthly or social security money on them thing.
Yeah.
So you have to make sure that you stabilize price. And the only how to stabilize price is how China doing, make bulk. So a whole shipload apply, a whole shipload and nail. And you have 6 months inventory stock in hand. The Ministry of Finance have a real work. And these young people who graduating in school now, you're programming in those kind of areas. Occupational health, that a man has to wear steel helmet if you're on the roof. They have to pay NIS those who build in the house. You know, all this discipline.
Yeah, safety rules and regulations.
It's a kind of China model.
Yeah. Yeah.
Democracy have its thing, but it's a kind of discipline in the home, from the home going down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Color? We just
have two crises going on. You see?
Mm-hmm.
We're connecting.
Yeah, we are just lost him for just a little while.
Ivan, back to that. So we are able to get all this bulk of help. And as soon as we get the help, Sri Lanka knock off, and that take away money that should have gone in a direction, it gone the other way. Mm-hmm. So we have to seize the opportunity now. And the last point I want to make, it is this is not the disaster preparedness thing, enlarging that. They have a big, the Cuban gave us 6 massive petrol tank next to Holiday Inn, is they call the hotel in the back of the airport.
Okay.
You know, there's a hotel in the back of the airport?
Yeah. It's not Holiday Inn.
Yeah, I worked there for...
Yeah.
No, I think they have a new name now, but it was close to somewhere in the back there.
Yeah. I know you're talking about.
They had 6 massive petrol tanks there. I worked on the airport for 2 years, so I could tell you that. And this tank was to store petrol so that when these foreign planes come from Bulgaria and Australia and they will get fuel to, your fuel you have, because there was an international kind of politics with the PRG, this revolution. So they had this massive tank stored up there. But I don't know what happened to those tanks. But when you're talking about fuel, you have to stabilize price like the States. What the States is doing to stabilize price, they're releasing from the strategic reserve. And when the price don't buy back, Yeah. So when a boat come, you only could do half a gallon of oil, and then we're saying price going up every 3 months, every 17. We can't do so. We have to have a straight line graph. We can't have a graph fluctuating.
Mm-hmm.
Like all this tank and things, store diesel and things like that. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So you have stabilization of price, otherwise everybody come and say government can't manage. I'm going to shop cost of living high, but is the functionality between the business, because the private sector business is running.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
The sector kind of taxation model.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to ensure that inventory. So I go out to a large warehouse. Yeah, so I mean, whether you buy those igloo with the metal and a warehouse and thing, you have to have that. Yeah. So it's a whole thinking process. Thinking, and you have to have plenty of sports for the young people to play to get a mind off of that. Your stillman movement, your music, your culture show, a package, I think, has to arise where your mind goes out of that and you have a new life. Otherwise, it's depression. You understand the point?
Okay. Uh-huh.
Yes. But I'm just trying to show the volume, the macro thing is a big thing. It's not that 6 months task we have there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So those people feel that we don't really touch the real task of reorganizing the society, regulating the labor force, productivity, how you measure that. This 8 to 4 work can't work in an emergency economy like that. State of emergency, 6 to 6, full daylight.
Yeah, it's okay.
And a good transportation system to take you home. Bye-bye.
Okay, caller.
Bye-bye.
Somebody just messaged me to tell me that the hotel you were speaking about, La Source, is now Sanders Hotel, okay? It was La Source before.
Okay, right. So in the back they had some big tanks.
Right, yeah,
the tanks. Come and give petrol in the back there. Yeah.
Right, right near to the hotel, yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, but even right now, you will get tanks to buy. They have this where you buy it in parts. A, B, C, D, F, and you screw them up together. Like what school of medicine had that big tank on top of the hill. The massive big tanks. Uh-huh. They are already made in plates and the label. Like what they built in the water tank in for this new water project they have in
Yeah.
Yes.
They're putting it together, yeah.
Yeah, you bring the parts in, they label the parts, and you build from the ground up and you screw up and things like that.
Yeah. They start on the ground and then move to the next level. It goes up. You replace on the bottom, it goes up again.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So either you give Shell and them incentive, build some more tanks and what else?
Okay.
And as long as the brother say, keep that pause airport, it is pause airport. Let me tell you something, the danger of pause airport. If you don't X off the airport and put X on those airports, and a plane they're in trouble and you land there, and anything happen, you're in big trouble, that airport, I ain't sure you X off, you know.
Okay.
These are things they taught us on the airport when I was walking along in the early 80s, in the late 80s. You have to put X on those airports to show it's decommissioned.
Yeah. Okay.
You understand?
Okay,
so
Colin.
that could be fenced around and kept nicely there for logistical reasons for storing. Helicopter could drop load there and things because the port busy and the airport busy. And you have, because we could be a sudden command point. We are getting the United States to work with us and make us an efficient kind of place.
Oh.
So it's a big thing.
Okay.
It's a big thing. I mean, 5 years can't do that, but they don't have the party on the trajectory, you know what I mean?
But yeah. Everything takes planning time. That's why we say vision 75 years. Okay.
And it could be more than 5.
Yes.
Definitely. There's no if about it here.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, so blessing to you.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, bye. Okay,
Yeah.
bye-bye. As this caller just mentioned that to somebody just messaged me again and tell me that that another large tank was down by the Rex Grenadian. You know, that's where they are for storage and things like that. But it's very, very important, you know, and when you have that. But he mentioned in the beginning about insurance. And right now, Gaffin, I call you might be here, Gaffin is responsible for those insurance, you know, and all these financial related entities, you know. That's what Gaffin is all about.
Okay.
To make sure that we get justice from these insurance companies, because what these insurance companies do when they insure your property, it's been reinsured again.
Not a bigger company.
By a bigger company.
Lloyd's of England or somebody else.
Yeah, right. Yes. So that's what they do. And then when times like this now, that's where they come in now, and they value when they value your property in the beginning, and you would realize that your insurance premiums are going up on a regular basis. It's because that they're looking at replacement value in the future because of the rising costs of materials and labor. So then they'd be able to give you back at least your facility close to what it was supposed to be.
And replacement costs increase all the time.
All the time, yeah. So this is one of the...
so I guess what the value of it in 1980, for example, 5 years later, the same thing that valued $10,000 in 1980, might be 1005.
See, well, in time, get a quotation, you know, every month change, you know.
Yeah, but that's it. But this is one of the problems that the government, you know, supposed to supervise. That's gap in there to make sure that justice is not denied.
But not only that justice is not denied per se, but before you enter into a contractual arrangement with any insurance company, that insurance company has to prove that it is obeying all the instructions and regulations. So, not waiting for something to happen, and you say you can't do it. But they are there to ensure.
That's where Gaffin comes in to make sure, you know, because they're like the watchdogs to make sure that people, that the companies that are coming in, because a lot of these companies are outside of Grenada and they come in here to do business. So they have to really vet them properly, make sure they stay within the rules and regulations. So in times like this now, that is whoever is insured with them going to get some justice.
Boy.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, this time there's such a big liability on insurance companies, they go duck. they go duck, trust me. If you see them ducking, you understand why. Well, it's some burden, boy. It's just everybody who's insured is a big shock.
Well, you know, but again, the ducking shouldn't be able to take place because they are reinsured.
They'll try.
Yes. So in other words, they have to go back to the company where they insured with to start to get the funds available so that they won't go basically like maybe bankrupt to duck and run.
Well, you know, some other companies sometimes they reinsure certain things and others they don't, you know. And I remember a situation like that where a company wasn't reinsured, and you know, and a big claim came to honor it. It really did damage to that company, so people have to be careful.
Yeah. Well,
I guess all these things are going to help us to put some things in place. This this experience is just the trial for the real thing to come. So we now know. Don't leave any stone unturned. Let's first of all learn the lessons and do what the lessons say that we need to do.
Okay. But speaking about insurance, and which is something that people sometimes run away from here a lot, especially, and the colleges mentioned about wooden buildings. Now I've been hearing that wooden buildings are now eligible for insurance as well too.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if that is the case, it would be advisable for people to, in whatever way. I mean, even though you were to underinsure, because that's a practice that's been taking place for the longest while over the years. People underinsure their properties to avoid paying bigger premiums.
Yeah.
But at least if you have something, it's better than nothing.
Yeah. I always heard the callers in that in times like this, deductibles are not in effect. I didn't understand that to be so.
Not to my knowledge. And I think deductibles are always
Always
in effect
there,
once there's a claim.
And
As long as there's a claim, the deductible comes in. The only thing is, if what some people would sometimes try to avoid is that if suppose deductible is like 10,000, and when you would do assessment and you realize that the value of repairs is less than that, you might decide not to
forget it.
Yeah, you don't even bother the insurance. You
Not
just
to
go ahead.
claim. Yeah.
Because once there's a claim filed, the premiums,
You're going up.
you're going up.
So you want to tarnish, you want to disturb the premium left alone.
But it's something that should be looked at though, to make sure that when we have disasters of this nature, and at least you're gonna have some assistance coming back. Okay. If you're able to pay the insurance anyway. But because most times people able to put something together, and then at the end of the day, it's like difficult to meet payments of the nature. So
of course.
but this is something that I think in going forward should be thought about. Wooden buildings again, which are because wooden buildings, when it comes to, I mean,
Fire?
like fire is an issue, and that could be one of the reasons why the insurance companies sometimes don't want to. Yeah, they don't want to insure wooden buildings because the risk is much higher.
Well, I mean, then therefore the premium is going to be higher too because of the height of the level of the risk with wooden buildings. So one would expect insurance on these buildings are going to be higher than.
Yes, well, things will go on. Cost will go around vary when it comes to the type of things that they're having. So.
Someone just sent me a little message out. I just want to read it quickly. That says, I ponder on the current relationship between Grenada and Venezuela. Now, after Ivan, both Guyana and Venezuela contributed greatly. However, after Beryl, we see Guyana very early, but I've heard nothing about from Venezuela. Now, could this be because going Essequibo dispute between those two countries? Guyana was right here. As a matter of fact, this first, I think they came by what, helicopter?
Well, forget Essequibo and Venezuela. I remember when we changed affiliation with Taiwan and China. And Taiwan source, you remember?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. So these things do have effect because you don't go to bed with me and think I was still like you. That's simple as that.
Okay. Okay. Because it's okay. So that's about the Guyanese are here. And as a matter of fact, I think just about a week ago, one of the barges or maybe containers or a few containers, I think they came in.
They were one of the first to come in with supplies.
Yes, they were the first ones to touch down.
Yeah, touch down.
And
the dock was loaded with timber from Guyana.
From Guyana,
yeah. Guyana was on the first to touch down. But I don't know if it called for us as a sort of in that dispute. I think most of the smaller countries sort of sided
on Guyana. Yeah.
So I mean, if I don't think Venezuela have any support in that regard.
But don't forget, Guyana is a member of CARICOM. Yes, Venezuela is not. So I mean, obviously, the CARICOM countries will stay with them, will support them partner,
and I
your
think
friend.
this the right up there in the world, you know.
Yeah.
So I mean, but that's one point in time. Guyana Venezuela was saying that if Grenada drill or a certain prospect for reserves, that'd be drilling into their vein. You remember that time?
Yes, I'm ready to talk about it.
Yeah. So that's why my boy that struck that deal with Grunberg. And the time Grunberg was telling him, don't worry about it. He's an American citizen and he could bring in the American government to defend
Vibes
that
FM.
drilling.
What's up, caller? What's up, caller coming? What's up, caller you on?
Leo.
Yes, sir.
What's going on, guys?
Honesto?
Good afternoon,
Yeah.
whatever. Hey, what's going on?
Well,
Hey, you don't answer your phone, guy.
But when calls are not so reliable, you get it sometimes. And it depends.
I know, man. I just busy.
Okay. All right.
All right, okay, I heard Ali was talking about something with Guyana and Venezuela.
Uh-huh.
But remember, I think he's the Prime Minister of Guyana that was the last head of the CARICOM, right? And then he passed the mantle on to our Prime Minister.
Mm.
Yeah, so that's the reason, one of the reasons again, too. I think that's why we're getting a lot of help from them, too. You know what I mean? And they've been giving us tremendous help. All right, something I want to find out from you guys are on the mainland, so then and when I say the mainland, I'm talking about the CARICOM.
Yeah.
Because it's a lady that normally call, she called it the one in the night on YouTube, the guy with the phone thing.
Okay.
And then she been saying, I mean, you guys know she not loud in CARICOM, I guess, because she always had to say I'm an NNP, whatever. You know, and okay, see now you guys there, I want you guys to speak about like the Chinese house and down phrase.
Mm-hmm.
Because some people making claim that there are people there and just a few galvanized and stuff were damaged. And then there are people in shelter, people lost their house and the government not giving them the chance. So seeing that you guys on the ground, maybe you guys could explain it more for people. And another thing you guys was mentioning about the school, about children going to Grenada first to get schooling and things. What I think they should do, again, just a suggestion, right? Because in South Korea, what they have in South Korea, like the children go away for about a month. You understand? They have them like in camps and things. There are people taking care of them because you are young children also. And they feed them, they do the homework, they do everything with them, and then they continue to go back to school from there. So maybe the government might be able to think about something like that on the mainland Grenada. Because when I look at it, right, even though they try to fix the school over there, remember all the nights with the chainsaws and then cutting this, cutting that, heavy equipment's moving around. Then when they come out to school, they still have to watch the damage. So I think that will be something psychological that will affect them. I mean, and do they have anybody right now in CARICOM that could assist the kids and some of the seniors too? Because I understand this lady lost her house and every day she just go down and sit down in it. Sit down there. And when they offer her food, anything, she just only water she drinking. She don't want nothing because she been there for age. And I was speaking for the gentleman. He tell me that his grandmother, she's 92 years now. So I don't know, maybe you guys might have an idea of what I'm talking about.
Well, as far as the old person is concerned, I don't know who that is, or if in fact that is happening. But this thing was, quite frankly, was so traumatic. You expect any kind of behavior.
So you and Kim very well. I'm gonna find out who is him and the person. Maybe you guys could check up on the lady too.
Okay.
Because you say you and Kim very, very, very good.
But I know that there are people in various villages who've been quite helpful, and there's an outpouring of support for elderly people in particular. I just
that's good.
Yeah, the old people were looked after. I think some people were sent to Grenada, weren't they?
Yes,
some of them.
Yeah, some of the older folks were sent to Grenada for care because
Because I heard some of the pregnant women that close to giving birth to. I heard that they put them on the mainland.
They went down here.
Yes.
Also, I heard the same lady now. She was talking. She talking about all this thing, and
she's talking about all these things. Then she say about in the night she go and sleep under she step with a mattress. You know what I mean? And then she also make allegations that that the place is smelling, and then there is dead people going and look for it. You know, to me, it's typical propaganda. I was trying to run down Kevin Andrew. You understand when I basically listen to her. All right, and then I heard now that NNP had a big birthday party in Carrico last weekend.
Well, but you better tell me for who?
I don't know who they have it for, but one of my friends over there called me, and she said that NNP had a party, and when she went over there, she had 2 kids. They didn't give her nothing, and she said to one of the organizers, right, that she said to one of the organizers, how comes the guys having party and all these city condition people? I don't think that's the right way now. Why you guys didn't use that money to give people? And the guy just look at her from top to bottom, never offer them nothing, she and the kids nothing, and she just went back home. Wow. And she lost her house. Yeah.
I'm not.
And when Mr. Bola was on Tuesday, I asked Bola about it, and Bola played the number. I already had people from Grenada came up to that birthday party.
I don't know about that one.
I don't know. I couldn't say anything about that, but that's surprising to me because I mean I'm right here. Something like that would have ring a bell long time by me, but you never know. They've been moving, try to undercover this last wrong. You know, Diablo has been coming into.
Yeah, but what should I do? Make a video of it. You understand?
Yeah.
But if somebody you guys know to do, whenever we talk, I'll get the guys information.
Okay. All right, if you say so.
I saw things going otherwise. How are you putting back things together, kid? What's going on?
Well, not really. But you see, everything's planning now. You see, and sometimes we believe that after a 3-hour event, and I call it a 3-hour event, the burial passing through, so just about 3 hours, we could just fix back in 6 hours, 10 hours. It doesn't work like that because going forward now, you need to plan properly in order to avoid as much as possible something like that happening again, you know. In the stage with me, I'm still in the process of planning and trying to move forward slowly and taking all the necessary precautions right now before we come back on stream 100%. So it's going to take time. So, you know, bearing that in mind, you know, you just can't rush the brush. You got to go with the flow, and you should be okay.
All right.
Yeah.
There's something I heard again, Kim. I heard also on a guy show that there was like truckloads of materials coming to Carrico because people, though waiting on the government, they feel the government taking time. And they say like truckloads of material. I don't know if you guys are aware of that, also.
Well, go ahead. No. Speaking of materials, I know materials are coming from Grenada to Carrico. And in most instances that I know, it's people in the diaspora who have funds available. And they want to see the structures go back right away because maybe they have to travel back, or maybe they want the convenience to be, you know, ready as soon as possible. And I believe that is exactly what is taking place right now as it pertains to materials coming to Carrico. These people have some cash hanging around, and they could afford, and they're not going to wait for assistance.
But that's still right about now. I think people who complain about not getting enough or not in a timely manner, they're a little bit off the track. We're doing quite well so far. As I mentioned earlier, the response has been magnificent. And I've never seen it happen better before. So there's nothing to complain about as far as I'm concerned. And I think as far as building back is concerned, we'll be on track in the near future and we'll work together.
Well, the building back process has already begun. The government have a lot of boots on the ground right now in different areas, you know, trying to see what they could put, you know, properly. Because you're not going back for temporary right now, you know. You're going back to build back proper. So you need to take the necessary steps and all the, you know, whatever it takes, you know, to don't just throw a shack up, get something done properly. So this is what's taking place right now, and a lot of people on the ground right now from the government that are doing this work. So it will take time, and it's like I said, a 3-hour event doesn't get a 6-hour solution. It takes more than that.
Yes, definitely, most definitely. All right, let me ask you guys, how are the Mills and Wales going? The Mills and Wales and the toilet I heard was donated. Where they getting to dump the waste from the toilet?
Well, there's been so much talk about that. I know a couple of the Mills and Wales locations were closed down because of concerns,
Hygiene concerns.
hygiene concerns. Yeah.
Like our health, health
Health
concerns.
concerns. Yeah. The toilets. I know a couple of them. They try to put them into motion, but the issue that they're having is the servicing of these toilets. That is an issue. I don't know if they have solved the problem as yet, but I know that was of great concern, and it seemed to have been not planned properly when you're going to bring these units into these areas that's going to be used because it's going to be used by the public. So you need to have special conditions, to make sure it's sanitized and make sure that people's health are not compromised. But
they was claiming that they had a talk with NADMA, and NADMA said that in the Dumfries area they'll be digging some hole and they will be dumping it. I think that's what I heard from the station of NAT. So I'm just asking you guys. Well, because you guys up there are could able to tell us what's going on.
Well, what I know, because there's cleaning services that's in Grenada, and when you get the waste, you have to dispose of it properly. That's one of the rules. Because I remember trying to bring a company from Grenada one time. They came up here by boat, and they cleaned my facility, and they had to go down back with the waste on the boat to dump it in Grenada because Carriacou didn't have the facility that was for that purpose. They just couldn't go and dump it in Dumfries or just dig a hole or something of the nature. That was not the case. So it cost me double when they had to come up by boat with the truck, clean the facility, and then go back down with it on the boat to get rid of it in Grenada. So this thing about digging holes, I'm not sure that
those propaganda stories is better leave them rest.
Yeah. I don't think no.
Wasting people time.
We have to do better than that.
I think that is trying to be relevant because something that was amazing when I see the premier from the Cayman Island came, right, and she came with member of the parliament, even the opposition. I wonder how this bunch of characters feel. You understand?
Yeah, you can avoid that. You can avoid that. We'll have haters.
Anyway, I know there's other callers and things, but just add me a little 2 cents. I just want to we talk later, guys.
Okay, thank you.
All right, okay.
All right, and be safe and take care and be careful in everything.
Okay,
thank you, sir.
Okay, we stay in touch. All right.
Okay.
Let me remind our listeners again, the telephone number is 403-0101, 403-0101, and 534-3097, 534-3097. In the callers mentioned Meals on Wheels, and I looked at the operation, and a lot of questions came in my mind as to whether or not it was for the purpose of providing meals, or it was propaganda on the part of those who were doing it.
Well, let me tell you, there was, I would think, and I don't know how they say they're trying to be relevant. I don't know how relevant they are. There's so many other areas we think we can assist, and meals at this point in time, I don't think is the most required help we need.
Now we need more than that.
Yeah,
definitely.
Vibes
FM. Let me take a call. Call you in a second.
Yeah.
What's up, caller? Coming.
Morning.
Yes, hello.
Good morning. Hey, how are you?
Okay.
Kim, this is Baku here.
Yeah.
Boy, you let me down.
Yes, go ahead. I'm listening.
Yeah, when I told you that I need your assistance, you didn't respond. I want to know the reason.
No, I did. As a matter of fact, I did a follow-up. I remember the police was involved, and I did a follow-up, and they assured me that they came to your facility and they sorted out everything. So that was the result I got back from them as it pertains to the problem that you were experiencing.
Yeah, but the police was a failure also.
Well, I don't know that. I don't know that part of it, but my part
The bigger part, listen, the bigger part of it, right? My station has been bugged. When I said bugged by one. Remember I spoke to you in connection with that?
Yes,
Right, that station had bugged me. I could not respond to the help needed for Caribou people. Right, when I got on to Trinidad and Tobago, they told me that I'd been bugged. I got on to the station in Barbados. They said I was trying to get on to me, but they don't know the reason why. But let me tell you the reason why. You listening to me?
Yeah, I'm listening. Go ahead.
That fella you call Wildman, that's a danger to all Caribou people. And I want the police to take some information on what I'm saying. This is real. Very, very real. Okay?
Yeah.
And Barbados will be sending the greatest help for Caribou. Okay?
Okay.
Right? So what I'm saying, this is not a joke. This is serious business. And I want you all to investigate him and manage him. Do something about him. This is the Baku. J39 Charlie Papa.
I know you call letters. Yeah, I know you call letters. Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
This is J39 Charlie Papa. And he is doing a lot of wrong things for the people in Caribou. So I have to come out and expose him.
Yeah.
That's the way Jasper, that 86 station, had died. He knows plenty of it. But he tried to do me the same thing. But he was not successful. Over?
Okay. Over.
Right? I want you to explain that to the whole nation and let them do something about it immediately.
Private detective.
Okay.
You hear me?
Okay.
Leo,
I heard.
Yes, sir.
This is Baku here.
I hear you. Yes, okay.
Yeah, we all need yours. I need your assistance.
Yes, ma'am.
And please, he tried to keep me eyes closed, but he cannot keep my eyes closed. Okay?
Okay.
You hear me?
All right.
Exercise
This is
with
serious. This is very serious. That's Wildman. Be careful with him. He's a danger. He and the next one they call Black Boy.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
All right. All the best. Take care.
All right. Thank you so much. Yeah.
God be with me.
Okay. All
And
right.
with all you.
Okay. Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Okay.
Right.
Bye. Again, let me get the numbers again. 403 4030 101 403 0101 and 534 3097 534 3097. You want to call and make a contribution to the program? Feel free to do so. The lines are always open for you. It's your program. Okay. Just listen to Baku just a while ago, and he has some concerns, and I try to assist, in the best way I can, but sometimes there's some issues that
beyond you.
Yeah. And then you hear me, calling out on one person, who we thought was dangerous thing. And really, this is something that is not for the program to be solving, but outside of it, it will be solved, I hopefully. Okay.
Well, let's hope so.
Yeah, because he's one of those who's in giving a lot of information. He's been in the ham radio business.
Okay.
And he communicates to countries way outside our region. I mean, it's amazing that he's able to do that, and he's been doing that for quite a number of years. But then some issues, as it pertains to that,
So Baku is a private detective?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Right. Okay, we're moving on. There's another thing I want to get back. Let's get back on there, because the boots on the ground right now, and people sometimes are trying to blame the government in many instances because they're not getting the response that they need. But NADMA, and Koi, you are in NADMA. NADMA is set up, to assist people in many, many ways and everything like that. And from your perspective, what do you advise people to do when they need or they have some concerns?
As you rightly say, that it was set up to provide humanitarian assistance, generally speaking, and assistance, protection in terms of how one should be prepared and for
disasters like that.
So that's why you would have heard long before, once the season starts, even without any name storm coming our way, NADMA been ensuring that, listen, prepare yourself. If there are, sorry about that.
Yeah.
If there are overhanging trees, cut them. Make sure that you secure your stuff and so on and so forth. So it is helping us to be prepared for and provide information that that we will need and so on. So that's that's the general education part. There is also the part of the when something happens, disaster, and it doesn't only have to be a hurricane, it could be flooding, for example, it could be some fire. You are given advice, you are given guidance, direction, because our ability to respond to whatever exists in terms of disaster is also important. Yeah, our ability to respond. So, having said all of that, having me saying all of that, now when the hurricane came, there had to be some management structure in place, and that is a very critical thing, very very important management system in place to be able to you know to be able to do what is necessary to be done as far as it relates to saving lives and other things. What I must say also is that there has been quite a lot of support from, of course, NADMA, Karaku, just NADMA, Karaku, and NADMA, Pitimatnik is NADMA, Pitimatnik, separate entities charged with the responsibility of looking after whatever the issues are. But NADMA Grenada, the main body, really and truly, was on the ball as far as NADMA Karaku. The very next day, dispatched someone to assist in managing the whole situation. So I'm saying here, I'm saying this, that NADMA, generally speaking, not just NADMA Pidmatic or NADMA Karaku, but NADMA generally was in a position to respond adequately and to minimize whatever damage or injuries or destruction that may have been caused or can be caused. And as I said early on, just about an hour or so after the storm, we had access to communication in terms of Starlink.
Yeah.
So the issue is managing the situation, managing everything about it, and of course up to a level where things
But
can
now,
start.
now that storm has passed, right? And people need some assistance, and
Yeah.
What do they do? Go to NADMA.
Well, first of all,
because communication by telephones and things like that is kind of
yes. It's best to go to NADMA, and what is also important, I must say, is that it's not just a matter of going up to NADMA headquarters. There are several what we will call satellite points on island. Yeah, so where you don't necessarily have to go to NADMA physically. There are centers, for example, there's one in Mount Pleasant. There's one right here in Hillsborough.
Tourism center.
Yes, these are these are satellite places set up. So that instead of going to them, but you must first know what you want. What I find, a lot of people come in and they want something. Why is it something? Because everybody don't have the same needs. Yeah, but at least something you will receive. So in a case as this, no, this time is over. Know what you want. Assess your situation to see how you can be helped. And certainly that has to happen when it comes to building. You can't go and say I want a galvanized example. You have to know exactly how many galvanized, feet, and so on. So the best thing for people to do now is to assess whatever they would need to go forward. Look into it. Assess your damages, because if that's not done before you get anything, it has to be assessed to know exactly what you need. So people are already starting to bring in evaluators, to assess your place and so on and so forth. So a lot of planning, as you have said earlier on, Kim, a lot of planning now has to take place in anybody who would need some kind of support.
So as you just
You're-
meant, go ahead. Sorry,
You're thinking about the staffing of NADMA. I think you have some permanent members and some volunteers.
Yes. NADMA as an organization had function as an organization, has different offices, like you have a chairman, you have a coordinator,
Mhm.
you have a secretary, and so on and so forth, like an ordinary organization. Yeah, that's and of course, apart from that, as a body, there's a staff. I mean, staff exists at the office in Bel Air, all right, to run the daily affairs of NADMA, as well as, so these are the permanent ones, and then there's the volunteers level of that's a level where people could come in and function in different places.
Yeah, but it seemed to me as though before the volunteers were able to kick in, the permanent members or the permanent staffing, they were overwhelmed, and there were some, to me, what I seem to be not a regular complaint, and people were sort of expecting too much for in the short space of time, as far as NADMA is concerned.
Well, of course, yes. I mean, you're talking about volunteers coming forward. The very first days, people responded and try to assist wherever they can. But we ourselves have to first identify the needs that we have to deal with now.
Okay.
All right. And one thing I must say also is that the Ministry of Caribbean Diplomatic Affairs, the minister and the permanent secretary there on the ground, and they were at the center when they passed, responding to the situation. So I think they were just their presence, knowing that they are the ones who really, they are the officials. I would say the minister and the permanent secretary, as far as the government apparatus is concerned. So I think that they did something very, very positive. And now that we are in this phase, I think the onus is shifting back to the people. Determine
what they want.
Assess your situation. You can't come and ask for a generator, for example. I mean, well, yes, you can, but if you know you don't need a generator, yes, I know we know that you don't light, but generators is not the same as giving out Pampers, giving out sugar, flour, and so on. So I'm just saying you have to determine what you want, what you need, your urgent need at this time. I mean, and be genuine here. You know, if you know you don't need something, don't take it just because it's there, or just because you want to get it. And I think that's where.
Well, you see, as you just mentioned, generators. You know, one of the things that been happening is that sometimes some people feel that they're entitled. You know, these generators are available, and they might be seeing certain people getting generators. Not realizing the service that they perform. Or you know the necessity. And they feel they've been cheated because they didn't get.
Or sometimes some instances an opportunity to get a standby for the one that they have already.
Right, again.
You know, so
you're so true. That's so true, sorry.
So businessmen priority were given to businesses and so on and support to kind of help supporting this time. So I'm just saying this is a time that we have to come clean and assess our needs. What do I really need? Do I need a top polling? No, not everybody would need that because they're not affected.
Hold on a second. You know? Let me take a call if it's. I'll get back to you on that. Vibes FM, WhatsApp caller you on? Caller come in. Caller?
Hi.
Yes, hello. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm glad we're talking about NADMA. I just wanted to make a statement or just raise a point that was being talked about on the ground.
Yes, go ahead. Caller, go ahead.
Yeah, just while getting the number for the station, I heard Koi mention something about the minister and the permanent secretary of CARICO.
Well, numbers you want to call, like to get in touch with NADMA? That's what you're trying.
No. So because the talk on the ground is that the permanent secretary, maybe a few days after, him and his family members went and took over the operations of NADMA. So we just wanted to probably get some clarifications on what is going on right now.
Caller, let me say this. I haven't heard that comment, but I've been hearing all kinds of comment. But that is not correct. NADMA, the permanent secretary and his family did not go and take over NADMA. NADMA has a team of people, and the NADMA has a team of volunteers, and there's a body. NADMA is an organization, yeah, not an organization, an agency that functions in disaster time. So that's not correct, and I could say that that's not correct. That the permanent secretary and his family went and take over NADMA. They were there. The permanent secretary, I just said a while ago to that the permanent secretary and the minister were at the shelter the night, the day when the hurricane hit. We were all inside there together. Yes. So nobody had a chance to come and take over anything. Why we were there before? To assess what is happening, plan, and see what's the best thing we can do. I mean, it wasn't that's what people are trying to say.
Hey, caller?
Caller, you there?
Yeah, you still there? Hello? The caller gone.
Yeah, I mean, how could one be talking about somebody come and take over? I mean, this is I think that, I mean, we ourselves there had to rely on each other's presence, because you might have been in your home or been somewhere else, but like us, like everybody else, we too had our concerns. I mean, for example, that building that there was built for this, and this is the first time it was tested. It was built for this.
A quick test too?
Yeah, and this is the first time it was tested, really genuinely tested. It
survived.
And it survived.
Flying colors too.
Huh?
Flying colors too.
Yeah.
But as you just mentioned there too, the presence of the minister, permanent secretary, and those at the helm there were there as well too, because it was not something that was planned. But I remember in the case of the minister, what at the time he was in New York and they were scheduled to do something in New York, and he had to abandon trip.
Yeah, and straight from the Coast Guard, because when he landed in Grenada,
the Coast Guard
the timing by to get the regular stuff. I mean, you missed it, and straight from the Coast Guard he went down south and see what's happening, get an idea. That's why he was there, and by the time sometime in the afternoon he ended up in Bel Air. So he went to the shelters to make sure that things are in place. That's where he went, because he knew very, very, very well that something is going to happen. So he went to the shelters. We already had people, because planning had to be done, not hands in the air.
Not that the window of preparation was very limited.
Yeah.
It was a very small window.
So
yes,
he came and by the time it started to get dark, realized, well, time for up there.
Vibes FM, what's up, caller, come in. Vibes FM.
I don't like to be calling.
Yes.
I don't like to be calling off. I don't like to be calling off tonight. But forgive me, just to clear something, just for consumer education.
Go ahead.
What's the biggest insurance we have in Grenada? You think you would tell me?
I am
L'Aqua Society. L'Aqua Society is the biggest insurance.
L'Aqua Society.
Yeah.
That's the permanent mission.
Yeah. Okay.
At the end.
Go ahead. At the end of the day.
You have a deduction there for those who have money in L'Aqua and that thing that you give them. Those deductibles are made from the pay slip. Discipline people, otherwise they will ever be dependent on you, and they will always be costing you even though you're doing them good. The fact is that we believe in short-term $100, so you give everybody their money. Run money, give people. All you get money, so give people. Try and give people consumer education, how you track your money and how you reallocate your money. It's not dumping money on people that is loving them. Even your children home, when they go to school in the week and if you give them $5 and they spend $4, and they bring back one extra, you double that for them as an incentive. You understand, man?
Yeah.
You have your child home in summer, you buy a book for him to read, you hide that $10 in the book. If you don't read it and he come ask you money, hey boy, don't bother me, please. You better go and lie down and read a book. You have all this. So you're training your children in the way they should go.
Hidden treasure.
Not just pumping money. I don't like this stuff of the pumping of the money without controls. Because after Second World War, they print all this big money with good food and all this IMF and more inflation, they want to improve. So programming the money is what you need. So they don't expect the gun to all the money we get now to just lavish it on give people what we got they poor. This is the worst mentality, whatever, consumer education. So the workers get the money every fortnight, you have deduction. Who have money from LACOA, who have money for life insurance, who have money for house insurance, you give them as off. So these are benefits, these are incentives you're giving them. Like allowances. So they program the money instead of all the money going to a big show, or they have extra money just giving children in Kentucky and all that thing. So you have to make sure employ people in those areas, have those radio programs, let GIS run that all them stations that land based in the government demand that they have a half an hour consumer education. You can't just give them a license and they're free to run them out on you and
But you know, Color,
they must have
Color, I was saying that part of the license agreement, enshrined in the license, is that you have to give the government at least 1 hour of airtime. No, nobody for that up. But yet they're using that, taking that same hour. The people would have given them through the government, of course, and lambast us.
Well, cut it out. Cut it out.
You know what I mean?
Anymore. Because
they're using that same thing to lambast us. So what are you saying?
I see your point. So they're taking you on grease and fry
I'm trying you. But you see, again, regulations. You see, as how you said that you mentioned earlier on, Color, about insurance and the person in charge of insurance and so on has to ensure that everybody is kept in line.
Exactly.
Similarly, we have to ensure that all these mediums have to comply with regulations.
Certainly. And as a big thing again, which we don't check it on for the children in Form 5 with consumer education. The next thing is that once NAGMA and the airport, how they call the airport, the Met Station.
Yeah,
they declare the level of disaster. It's a category 5. There is nothing that's deductible. It becomes a total loss because of that. So if an earthquake passes in a level 7, they have different gradients. So the people who come into your home are the adjusters. Okay? So most time you can't really fine print yourself. So you have a lawyer. That's why America is so great. Everything is a lawsuit.
Yeah.
Sometimes the insurance have an adjuster. So you must have a lawyer to interpret the fine print. All them things we call about insurance are good. All that is clarifying the fine print, but we don't know, we don't check, we like propaganda, we're not into. And these things are then the fine print, obligations. So that total loss, because now they declare Carrico a total loss, you don't have nothing there about deductible again.
Yeah.
Okay.
I get it.
You know that ordinary claim of one house bond and you're looking at a house bond and you're deductible. So I am saying, how do you call that place again where they have the people where you bring your house to get approval? Physical planning.
Yes.
Have to be upgraded in terms of increasing the staff, and you can't have an 824 working physical. They're taking 6 months to approve a plan. The country can't advance that way. The government will come back and get blamed because just now is election again, and by then they go say, you don't do nothing. So these physical planning people, 3 shifts, one close at midnight, one at good approach. The next one is 6 o'clock in the morning. The next shift starts to 12, and that is the way you got to run the country.
Yeah. Okay.
So you don't have one man working from 8 to 12, take a big lunch, which is a 2-hour lunch. Come back at 4 o'clock. 5 minutes to fix their hair. When they come back, they're going to fix their hair in the mirror. The other 5 minutes is to tell their friends that just come back. You understand the point? And then 4 o'clock come on you, nobody get nothing done, and everybody go blame the government. Giving them money alone and say you increase the pay would not make you efficient. And the final point, I don't think I'll call again today. Venezuela is not a free country. Venezuela is not under U.S. sanction. They can't use the U.S. When Ivan passed here, they came here with a checkbook in their hand. The general had his own checkbook, right? And as a matter of fact, that's why Peter David even got popular. It is that money from what they call it, that Latin America group, there, Venezuela and them, that oil money. The other group that Tillman didn't want to get involved in. I forget the name of it.
Yeah, and go ahead. I remember.
The hospital and then go.
Yeah. And they even give us gas too. The gas, the spice gas. Yes, all these things.
Yeah, Petro-Caribbean.
Not Petro-Caribbean. It's
that was a big lift.
The name is not ECLA. Anyhow.
Yes, go ahead.
No, the other name is Venezuela, but a kind of group, a subgroup in there.
Yeah,
and greedy. I just can't remember the name of it now.
But
Tilo didn't want to be involved in it. And one of the reasons he and Peter had a big bacchanal to Peter was in the link there.
Mm-hmm.
And when he got the first bundle of money from there, because Peter was the main engine with the main link with the Venezuela group, we get that big money and benefit tremendously from that. You understand? And the hospital, they start there, they build convent. They didn't have all this thing about
Alba?
thing like how
Is it Alba? Kola, is it Alba? Alba.
Yes, sir. You
The last connection there. Oh, it's back. Okay, you're back here. Yes, go ahead.
I can feel where they will Trinidad. Venezuela will pump oil into Trinidad and Trinidad will refine. Because Venezuela oil is a kind of thick oil, different from the sweet oil in Iraq. You know about that?
Yeah,
Venezuela oil is like tar.
Yeah.
It's a kind of tarry oil.
Number 6 oil.
Yeah, so yes, that's right. So the Trinidad oil is a bit of heavy oil too. So the Trinidad have the refinery, they do nothing. So they were trying to link that. You heard about the men in Trinidad who died in pipeline?
Nope.
No.
Six men go down to clean the pipeline, and the pipeline sucked them in and they died. That big thing in Trinidad, you hear about that lawsuit of $1 million about a year ago, 2 years?
No. Suck them in?
Yes, they go to clean the line. Now the line is linked back to Venezuela. So they were trying to test to see the quality of the line, and when they open the valve, the line sucked them in. You could.
Okay.
That's first news, boy.
Big lines from America, they make $millions out of it. I don't think they pay the family yet. But these are the things. So Venezuela is one of the link. They're trying to link the Dragon Fuel and Trinidad and Venezuela to link. So maybe we will get a report of how we link up with that too. But all I'm saying to you is this. We have to keep up with international politics. We have to have a wing for that. Politics is a dynamic thing. China going through a big thing now. They arrest the head of the army and all kind of things. You have to know things. He's not going to have any specific problem that the world don't have. Look how other people solve the problem and see what I could take to solve mine. Yeah, so you have an integrated so that young people keep the mind of this old propaganda as if they believe everything is for now. These 18 years and 19 years are living school. Program them right. Research. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And keep the ball, keep them off of that old talk, and they're not going on too much old talk. And everybody feel they know and they have not the experience. Well, I mean, I can't see so good now without glasses and things, and I can't confine home. But I was feel sad when I heard some of them calling the program. A lot of things, them people who leading the program, they don't know. So people calling and make all statements, and it just end up, next man call, and there's no closure to a point.
Yeah.
So we want to see what we're looking for is to use that hurricane for a brand new